Houston, taking 2 out of 4. Now they've got 3 left as they come to Arlington, Texas. Joe Saunders, who used to wear the Oriole uniform, the left-hander who'll make the start against them in this ballgame. Was the grand slam by Manny a sign of things to come offensively? The Orioles hope so, and we're about to find out. Game 1 is next. It's the Orioles on Massett, and we welcome you to Arlington, Texas, where the Orioles open up the 3-game stand against the Rangers and the final 3 on this long 11-game road trip. Hi, everybody. I'm Gary Thorne. Great to have you with us here as the Orioles hope to make some hay on the teams in front of them. They gained a half game on the clubs, even though they didn't play yesterday. Now they get a chance against the Rangers, and they catch this ball club when they are hurt. The first good news for the Orioles is the man who got hurt in their last ball game is going to play. Nelson Cruz took a shot on the back of the hand. He stayed in the game and ran, but when they came out to play defense, he had to come out of the ball game. Nelson Cruz, they hope, was not going to be seriously injured. X-rays negative, and fortunately in the lineup. And here's why. He leads the league. Home runs, RBIs, slugging percentage, total bases. Without him, Mike Bordick, the Orioles are not where they are today.
Well, they're sure not. Nelson Cruz is having a career start to this year. I mean, the numbers are incredible, and the Orioles really lucky that there wasn't more damage done to his hand. And I think Nelson Cruz real happy that he's going to be playing here in Arlington. Took batting practice today. Everything checked out okay. So Nelson Cruz happy to be in the lineup. It's going to be an emotional series for him. I mean, 8 seasons with the Rangers, helped lead them to a couple World Series. You know, the Rangers didn't offer him that big free agent deal, so he ended up signing with the Orioles. Orioles hoping the chip on his shoulder continues here in Arlington.
And if you'll allow us a personal note, our producer, Don D'Agostino, is not with us tonight. Her dad passed away. Frank D'Agostino, who was a member of the armed services and worked in government throughout his life, is gone. We pass along our condolences, our sympathies, and most of all, our love to Dawn and her family on the passing of her dad. We miss you. Can't wait for you to get back. Ball on Masson is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Find Southwest Airlines fares online only at southwest.com. And by visitannapolis.org. Find it here. Summer's rolled into Arlington, Texas. Take a look at our train game time temperature. It'll be up there. It has been all day, and the humidity up as well. The wind kind of crossing the field from right to left, and it'll be 89 degrees as we start the ball game. Visit trainsearch.com to find your local train comfort specialist dealer. It's hard to stop a train, really hard. Here's the starting lineup for the Orioles, brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Fares online only at southwest.com. Nick Markakis back in that leadoff spot. You see he's got the 7-game hit streak. Big .345 average during the streak. Manny Machado, Nelson Cruz, fortunately for the Orioles, and he's in left field. Adam Jones, Chris Davis, J.J. Hardy. Delman Young will get the start as the DH. Good numbers against Texas. Jonathan Schoop at second, and Caleb Joseph will do the catching.
Let's take a look at Joe Saunders, his pitch arsenal this season. Fastball he's using at 59% of the time. Now he's got a pretty good two-seamer. Get some ground balls with that, a four-seamer as well. Throws from 89 to 93 with that fastball. Breaking ball, a couple, slider and a curve. One hard, one soft. When he wants to go for those punch-outs, you're going to see the harder one down in the dirt. And he throws that changeup 20% of the time. He's a veteran pitcher. He knows how to pitch. His goal is, though, to get that weak contact. 2 starts this season. 4.15 earned run average, 10 strikeouts to 5 base on balls. Now Saunders hit with a line drive in his first start as a Ranger. Stress fracture in the left ankle. Missed almost 2 months of the season. He made his debut here coming off the DL last week. Pitched 5 innings. So here the Orioles get a look at him in his second start since coming off the disabled list.
Defensively for the ball club behind him, they right now are ranked 13th in the American League. They've allowed some unearned runs.
Well, they have, and it's because so many young players. Now, Michael Choice new to this outfield. Leonis Martin in center field. He's a young player. Alex Rios, the veteran, having a fine year over in right field. Elvis Andrus, of course, has been here for a while at shortstop. But Odor, a very young second baseman, just 20 years old. Called up because of an injury to Profar. Beltre, the veteran third baseman. Moreland at first. And Chirinos doing the job behind the plate.
So the Orioles hope to catch this ball club, as indeed they are suffering, especially with pitching. Saunders just trying to get his way back into Major League game shape, making the start here. And we'll see if the Orioles can get to this left-hander. What a year it has been for Juan Washington on the right. The manager, Timmy Bolgar, is bench coach sitting next to him. I think Washington has done a magnificent job with a ball club that has had to change its lineup and was counting on starting pitching to be its strength. This ball club is still a game above 500 and only 6 games out. That's amazing.
It really is. And look at the numbers right there. 669 player days spent on the disabled list this season. That's the most in Major League Baseball. Of course, Prince Fielder out with the back surgery, but 3 of their starting pitchers out. All 3 of them lefties. Holland, Harrison, and Perez. So many good things counted on, but go to the wayside because of the disabled list.
And we are underway in game 1 of this set. Here is Nick Markakis. Nick will bring his 7-game hit streak in with the .299 batting average. He has done just a magnificent job in that leadoff spot. The pitch will come inside to him. The Orioles again against the left-hander. Teams still love to throw lefties against the Orioles. The Orioles are 6-7 against left-handed starters. They hit .252 off lefties, .267 overall against right-handers. Ball will be put down the line in left field, and that will be out of play. Choice coming over, had no move on it.
Well, we've talked about Nick Markakis, his success from the leadoff spot, but here in this first inning, he is putting up monster numbers. .434 batting average, 3 doubles, 5 runs scored in the first inning. So he has been on fire, quite a table setter for this team.
And a ground ball towards first. Tough play. Moreland got it and gets it over to Saunders covering. Not an easy play for Moreland. And how ironic, the baseball gods show up early in this game. First base has been one of the pits for this Texas team so far this year. They are struggling to find somebody to play there. When you know it, first ball goes there, tough play, and they make it.
Well, it always finds you, and that actually was a very fine defensive play, taking him deep in the hole. Good deep angle to make the play, and a tough feed for the veteran Joe Saunders at first base.
Saunders will take a breath here. Texas always has an advantage over clubs that are not used to playing in these weather conditions, even now, even though it's early June. 89 degrees, humidity up. Teams took very short batting practice. Both of them did. You just cannot stay out in that sun for very long. And as the game goes on, obviously the teams that are here visiting oftentimes are the clubs that struggle a little bit, especially the pitching, as the game goes on. Just some shadows in left and center remaining here at sunset time. Manny Machado, coming off his grand slam in Houston, will take the pitch. He's in there for a strike. Take a look at our Jeep inside the numbers.
Yeah, it started off slow. First 14 games, just 11 hits, 1 home run, 1 RBI. But last 14 coming on fire, the 15 hits.
Right to Odor, and there are 2 down.
Well, he's got to feel good about that swing. Nice line drive, stayed through that baseball. Back-to-back games where he had 2 hits. And, of course, you mentioned that big grand slam that he hit. Big-time confidence booster from Machado. And he's looking to help this Orioles offense.
Listen to the fans, Nelson Cruz. This is his first game back in the ballpark where he spent 8 years, and very good ones. They did not offer him the long-term deal. He waited. Nobody else wanted him. The Orioles came through, and thank goodness for that from an Oriole perspective. So he comes back with the heart thumping here for this at bat at least. He said, I think I'll be warmly received, and he was.
Yeah, he was. I mean, a lot of good years here with the Rangers. 8 seasons. He had 157 home runs as a Texas Ranger. It's unfortunate how last season ended for him, the PED suspension, and I think that left a bitter taste in the Rangers' mouth, and they were unwilling to lock him up to a multi-year deal. But one of the real premier free agents on the market, and I think a lot of teams really hesitant to take a chance. And the Orioles got him at now looks like what a major bargain, and he is playing unbelievably.
He has played. This game is his 401st ball game in this ballpark. He's a .294 career hitter here in this yard. With the 8 years he spent here, he's got 92 home runs in this ballpark. And he will take the fastball from Saunders. That one's going to be up and in. The Cruz this year against the left-handers, a magnificent .405 batting average now against left-handers. Against Saunders, he'll take the pitch. That's going to be outside. Saunders really working around a little bit here, and the count goes 3-2.
Well, Joe Saunders, the veteran pitcher, really trying to work the edges. He knows how dangerous Cruz is, but that's his game plan anyway. Try to use hitters' aggressiveness against them. He's going to work the perimeter consistently.
3-2 delivery on the way. He'll take it, and he's on with a walk.
Nice at bat right there by Nelson Cruz. Some tough pitches. Saunders talked about him being careful, but Cruz, seeing the ball so well here the first couple months of the season, lays off those tough pitches.
Now the league's second best hitter against left-handers. Here is Adam Jones. A .434 average against lefties. Only Jose Bautista at .442 starting the day had a higher average against left-handed pitchers. He has not had a great deal of success against Saunders, however. He is 4 for 19 lifetime against this left-hander. Cruz on at first base. He'll be held by Moreland with 2 down, and the breaking ball will be taken down low for a ball. Orioles would love to get to Saunders early, obviously, and also make him throw a lot of pitches. As Mike said, only his 3rd start, so you got to believe the arm may not be 100% of the strike.
All right, well, his last start, 5 innings of work, he ended up throwing 97 pitches, so real fine, trying to work the perimeter like we had talked about. And he can get his pitch count up in a hurry, or he can, working the edges. The Orioles have to be patient and not chase his pitches.
Saunders said after the ball game, that was my #1 problem. I was trying to be too fine. He said, I've got to attack more in the strike zone, even if I don't have a real live fastball. At first base, Cruz. Jones, 1 ball, 1 strike count with 2 down. The Orioles come in a game over 500. 4.5 behind the division leading Toronto Jays. Pitch will be taken outside. And he looks like he's fine-tuning a little bit here in the first inning.
Well, being careful, a couple of the best hitters against lefties, and he is trying to work the edges. And of course, Adam Jones, Saunders knows he can expand the zone a little bit. See the second strike up in the zone, but working away and then down in the zone.
Here's the 2-1 delivery, and that's way inside. Rinos with a nice stop behind the plate. Cruz not going anywhere. The last thing the Orioles want him doing tonight is diving into second base head first, or any other base for that matter. I mean, while he's playing and while that hand is not injured, it's still not 100%. He's got a bruise on there and it hurts.
Yeah, he's got to be careful for sure. I mean, if there's any fluid at all in his hand, it's going to be uncomfortable getting in between those small bones.
3-ball, 1-strike count. Delivered to Jones. He rips it. That's a base hit into left field. Cruz will stop at second base. Choice will get it back in. And the Orioles mount a 2-out rally here in the first inning. Adam continues hot. He's got a hot bat, staying around that 300 average mark. And a leadoff here in the first inning at bat for him with a base hit. That'll bring up Chris Davis. So the first scoring chance comes for the Orioles. The shift will be put on by the Rangers. Odor, the second baseman, moving back towards shallow right. Not very far out, though. You've seen most right field. Most of the second basemen are back about 15 more steps than he is. And the pitch is taken for a strike.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see if this changes. Now, so many young players that Ron Washington has on this team, and a lot of the things they're learning are on the fly within games. And Odor playing just off the grass. Most second basemen on the shift with Davis play about 20 to 30 feet deep in the shallow right field.
Look back to second base. Cruz made a nod towards third. Situation you've got here is you got Beltre, the third baseman, way off the bag because of the shift. So Cruz, if he thinks he's too far off the bag and can beat him to third, might try it, but not here with Davis up. And that ball is fouled off at the plate. He was out in front of it.
Well, you do things to disrupt the defense. You do things to disrupt the pitcher. For Saunders, a veteran pitcher, probably wouldn't be rattled too much by this type of situation, but also Cruz moving around a little bit. Any kind of hole you can expose, if their shortstop Elvis Andrus moves a little bit, can help Chris Davis out.
0-2 delivery on the way. Davis will take it. Setup was way outside, and that's where the pitch was delivered. Chris is actually hitting better against the left-handers and righties, as you might expect. 260 against lefties, 214 off right-handers. Moving the ball around. That left side is wide open for him most of the time. Less so here with the runners on at first and second. 1-2 delivery by Saunders, and a ground ball that'll go into that shift. Odor's got it. He'll make the play over first, and that's that. No runs, one hit, no errors. 2 are left on base. The numbers for Jimenez, who goes for the Orioles when we come back. From those of you watching at the University of Delaware, our greetings and thank you for being on board with us as the summer sessions get set to roll. All part of Birdland. Back here in Texas, here's the lineup for the Rangers. Chu, Anderson, Moreland, Beltre, Rios, and Choice, Martin, Chirinos, and Odor.
Well, let's take a look at Ubaldo Jimenez's pitch arsenal this season. That fastball at 52%, breaking ball 28%, and the changeup at 20%. Now, Ubaldo, when he's on, he uses all of his pitches very well, has good command, and he's starting to heat up again. A great start in his last start in Houston. 6 strong innings. Here's a look at his numbers on the year, though. 11 starts, 2-6 record, 4.65 earned run average, 59 strikeouts, and 31 base on balls. That's a pretty big number. Although trying to bring that down, be more consistent in the zone. All of his pitches have nice life. He can get a lot of chases if he proves he can throw strikes early.
Sin-Soo Choo, their leader in the leadoff spot, and one of their offensive leaders, the veteran, has really been necessary for this team. The 289, 6 home runs, 18 RBIs. He's got 3 stolen bases. He is 1 for 3 against Jimenez, a home run. And Jimenez will come inside to him. And a 2-ball, 1-strike count. Ubaldo with a 3-2 mark lifetime against this Rangers team. First time these teams have met this season, and that pitch is going to be up high. Texas coming off a very tough road trip, an 11-game trip of their own, and they came home 7-4, including a win against the Nationals, a shutout on Sunday. Yu Darvish getting it. Swing and maybe a foul tip held on to in any event. 3-ball, 2-strike count on Chu, and now the Orioles will move the shift way around. Again, the Orioles adjust on many hitters, especially the lefties, depending on the count, and they do that again here. 3-2 delivery. Chu will take it, and he's on. So a dangerous leadoff walk.
Just missed with the fastball there, up in the zone. And take a look at this Orioles defense, brought to you by Chevrolet. Nelson Cruz getting the start over in left field. Jones and Markakis join him. Hardy and Scope once again up the middle with Machado and Davis on the corners, and Caleb Joseph back behind the plate.
Here's their shortstop, Elvis Andrus. Andrus with a 257 so far. He's got some pop in his bat. He's had hits in 6 of the last 8 ball games. That ball's going to go to second base. Jonathan Scope, J.J. Hardy, Chris Davis, big double play. Boy, the pitcher's best friend, and it came on the first pitch to Andrus.
A big help right there. Nice clean double play. Now, Ubaldo Jimenez, one of the only starters with a good 2-seamer that can actually induce some ground balls. Here he does. Scope to Hardy to Davis, about as clean as you can get. Good footwork with Scope from Scope, and of course J.J. Hardy, the 2-time Gold Glover. He knows how to turn a double play.
And that will take away that base runner. Now the big shift put on against Moreland. The veteran Mitch Moreland getting the start at first base. He brings a 5-game hit streak, 5 for 21 during the streak. Not particularly high average, 238 in that streak. And the pitch taken up high for a ball. He was out on Sunday, had some back stiffness, so missed that ball game, and back in for this one. Rangers can ill afford to have anybody else out of the lineup. That ball in the air to left field into that sun. Cruz going back, didn't see it, finds it and makes the catch. Nice play. Again, the sun shining only right now in left field. Cruz looking right up into it and into the lights. He puts it away, only 3-faced. You've won $500 for being selected. You'll win $500 more for every Orioles home run hit tonight. Play the Orioles scratch-off for the Maryland Lottery for your chance to be a contestant of the game. Win a trip to see the O's at Wrigley or to the MLB World Series. Learn more, mdlottery.com/Orioles. We got to the second inning. J.J. Hardy with a 3-game hit streak coming in. He's had a couple of hits, including a home run in 8 at-bats, lifetime off Saunders, the Rangers started.
Well, J.J. Hardy, no home runs this season, which is a little uncharacteristic of Hardy, but that .306 batting average, and he's making solid contact, consistent solid contact. Take a look at his road numbers, .320 batting average with the 8 RBI. He's clutch with runners in scoring position.
Saunders will miss inside with it. Hardy's had a tremendous month of May, picked the numbers up and has continued moving those numbers along here. Early June. The Orioles 3-4 on their current road trip with these 3 games to be played here. The offense picking up in Houston. Team hitting .254 on the road trip, averaging 4.4 runs a ball game. That'll be popped up in the air. Swirling winds can make these troublesome at times. Second baseman Odor is there in fair territory and puts it away. And a reminder to celebrate summer at Oriole Park by picking up the new Birdland Summer 6-pack. Tickets to 6 games of your choice. Savings up to 20% off the cost of regular single game tickets. Best seats, best promotions, best games. Right now you can make the choices. It's the Orioles.com 6-pack. That's where you want to be. Here's Delman Young, the DH in the ball game tonight. Delman's got a 3 for 10 with a home run off Saunders. That's one of the reasons he gets the DH role. Also a right-handed batter and has a .298 career average with 8 home runs against Texas. Put all that together and go Delman go.
Right.
Outside for a ball.
Well, it seems like Delman Young, much like Steve Pearce, every opportunity that he gets, he takes advantage of, and some good numbers off Saunders. But we talk about the numbers against left-handed pitchers, and the Orioles have really been trying to improve that over the last couple of years, and that's why the big reason why Delman Young was brought in, and fortunately for the Orioles, able to land Nelson Cruz. Righties with some good numbers, career numbers against lefties.
Line drive but Adam, and it'll be hauled in by Rios. Young is retired, and there are 2 down. For Saunders, he has been a fly ball pitcher throughout most of his career. Not a big difference. 46% of the outs have been ground balls, so 54 on the fly balls. It's not unusual to see him putting it up in the air. Talking with Buck Showalter, he said before the game today, watching video on the 2 starts Saunders has made, he thinks he's throwing harder than he was at the end of last season. A little better fastball. So he said, I'm not sure, we may see a little more of the fastball from Saunders than we have on past games.
Yeah, I mean, he can get it up there at 92, 93 miles an hour. In his last start, showed some real good velocity. So feeling strong. He isn't he is a crafty lefty, but he's not the type of lefty that you think about, real finesse as far as, mid-80 fastball, turning it over all the time, keeping it down in the zone. He's got enough to sneak it by, and he has that type of intelligence where he can use that fastball to get some strikes. You see the numbers, his career 7-0 career record versus the Orioles.
Good eye by Jonathan Scope. Scope taking all these pitches. He's got 40 strikeouts and only 4 walks. So he, like Adam Jones, trying to concentrate on being more selective. 3 ball, 1 strike count. Should get one to hit, did, and fouled it back into the screen.
Oh, nice pass. One thing that Saunders does do when he gets into these hitters' counts, he typically does challenge guys with fastballs. We've seen throughout the course of the season, there's a lot of pitchers that are fearful of this Orioles lineup, and we'll see him throw sliders in 2-0 counts. There's a pitching coach, Mike Maddox. He's on top of it. He appreciates that Saunders, the veteran, out there on the mound.
Odor charging, makes a nice running throw. A little help over there from Moreland, and it is a 1-2-3 inning for Saunders. We go to the bottom of the second, game 1 of 3 here in Texas. Jones will go behind the scenes during filming for one of his live chats on MASNsports.com. So be sure to follow Masson on Twitter. Use hashtag Masson Orioles in your tweets to be automatically entered to win. Barry Thornton, Mike Bordick here. The crowd on hand for this return game for Texas coming off the road. The Rangers here at home are 13-13 on the year. They actually hit and scored a little better on the road than they have at home. In fact, their average a good deal different. While the Orioles are 17-15 on the road. The ball to Jimenez and the delivery to Beltre. Beltre at third base, another one of the veterans with big time numbers against the Orioles right-hander, including that one home run. Shift on against him. Ooh, swinger get hit. He swung.
Yeah, that fastball 88 miles an hour, but riding up and in on Beltre. I mean, he's all about being in hit mode, but this ball takes off. Yeah, he's just trying to defend himself and catches the bat for the second strike.
Beltre has hit in 17 of the last 18 against the Orioles, and he will foul that one back. Beltre, an ever dangerous home run hitter. He's had 19 of them against Oriole pitching in his career. He carries a .280 average into the ball game against the O's. Now there is no shift, so the reports say when he gets behind he'll go the other way like that. If you don't change that shift, that's a base hit. Amazing stuff, isn't it? Jonathan Scope makes the play and Beltre's retired.
Well, the Orioles scouting department, Bobby Dickerson on top of that. It's unbelievable how the shifts work and really working to their advantage. This has been proven time and time again that these shifts are starting to pay off. Let's look at the Orioles infield coach and third base coach Bobby Dickerson. Constantly moving guys. They're always looking in.
That'll bring up Alec Rios. Rios, another veteran, 2 for 15 off Jimenez. He will take that one for a strike. Manny Gonzalez, our home plate umpire, carrying some real fine numbers in that right field position. Shift on against him as well, and the pitch will be taken for a ball.
Rios had a monster month of May. 5 triples in the month, hit over 300. 5 doubles, 5 triples, couple home runs. First time actually a Texas Ranger has hit 5 triples in 1 month.
That's pretty amazing in and of itself.
Right.
On top of the pile in the American League because of that in 3 base hits. 2-1 delivery to him. Rios will launch it to right. Markakis thinking, diving, and makes a nice catch. You could see the thought process of Nick Markakis making the determination, do I play it on a hop or do I go get it?
Really a great defensive play. Rios really stings this ball, breaking ball down and away, stays on, and this liner's about 10 feet off the ground, but Nick makes a split-second decision, and he commits to this baseball. Beautiful sliding play for the Gold Glover Markakis.
So Rios retired, and there are 2 down. And that will bring up Michael Choice, one of the many young players we were talking about on this Texas team, filling in because of all the injuries and hoping to leave a mark in doing so. He's getting the start in left field. Choice will foul that one. He too has had an injury problem. He banged his left shin over the weekend and was taken out of the lineup, never actually got in it on Sunday, was never in the ball game. Feeling good enough though to be back in this one. Delivery to Choice, and that will be outside.
Good fastball there. Paint that edge. You're trying to get the young player to expand the zone a little bit. Mena's looking pretty good right now.
Working in a hurry. That's going to be outside. Choice came over from Oakland to this ball club in December of last year. He was Oakland's minor league player of the year, selected as the outfielder of the year in the Pacific Coast League. 2-2 delivery, and that's going to be inside. Pretty good eye. Jimenez working it around on him, and the count goes to 3-2.
Yeah, a veteran take by the young player. Nasty split finger down in the zone.
3 ball, 2 strike delivery on the way, and it's inside. So Jimenez surrenders the walk. That'll be the second that he has surrendered. This one with 2 down. It's time for all fans to tweet their photo using hashtag #MASSandFanPhotos for a chance to have it shown in a future broadcast. It's brought to you by AT&T. Leonys Martin coming up. Martin with a 1 for 6 and a home run off Jimenez. Infield in an awkward positioning right now. With Martin having good speed, Machado has to play in, even though he's playing in the shortstop hole. Now they're going to backing up.
You have to try to take that away from him. This Rangers team, not the home run production that we've seen in the past. So they're an aggressive offensive team in the sense that they try to push the envelope. They're leading the league in attempted stolen bases. They lead the league in sacrifice bunt attempts. So they really try to play the small ball when they can. Get guys moving.
Reared back on that one and put it up high, and he got him to chase it. Martin with a wild cut at it, and the count will go to 2 strikes. Joyce over there at first base. That shift fully employed now against Martin. Runner not going. Ball will be pumped the other way deep, but it is going to go foul. This Texas team they are second in average in the American League, but only 9th in runs, so they've not been able to convert. Part of it for the reason Mike mentioned, they are next to last in home runs, so they don't have the long ball to get those runners in, nor have they had enough of the extra base hits. It'll be way inside. Joseph going in to get it, and the count, a ball and 2 strikes with 2 down on Martin.
Baldo getting ahead again. Ended up losing Choice, but Baldo's last start, 6 innings, he had 8 strikeouts in that ball game and just gave up 3 hits. Baldo's he's a streaky type pitcher. Of course, that month of April, there was no streak at all involved. It was just a low time. 4 losses, 6.59 earned run average, but picked it up in May. A couple wins, 3.12 earned run average throughout May. So the Orioles hoping that the inconsistencies start to level out.
And he will miss outside. The other problem has been this pitch count stuff, and he's not helping his cause here. He got helped out by a double play in the first inning. He's already issued 2 walks in the ball game, and he's going, as he always does, deep into counts. When he pitches, we have seen games of a dozen 3-2 counts in a ball game when he is on the mound. Trying to stay around that 15 to 17 pitch per inning. You can do that, probably in pretty good shape. That one is going to miss down low, and the count will be full.
Yeah, does a good job getting ahead, but then he tries to go for the strikeout every time. And here you go, another 3-2 count. 11 strikes and 9 balls out of his 20 pitches so far.
Going out will be Joseph. To talk with him here. The Orioles brought Jimenez in, hoping he would be right up there at the top as far as wins when he starts. The Orioles have not had it work out that way yet. He's had 11 starts. The Orioles have only won 2 of the ball games that he has started. So other than the 2 wins he's picked up, the Orioles do not have a win in any other games he's started. Runner goes and another walk. 2 in a row, coming with 2 down here in the second inning. 3 in the ball game. Jimenez now with the first scoring chance for Texas. First and second, 2 outs.
Well, I can understand Ubaldo having some inconsistencies throwing strikes with his delivery. It's really hard to repeat and find that release point every time, but he's doing a good job getting ahead, and his stuff moves in the zone so well. And I'm surprised he just doesn't continue to attack. He gets good life on his fastball. He has good breaking ball.
Chirinos over the top on that one. Here's another position that the Rangers have struggled to fill, and that's behind the plate. Aaron Sebia was supposed to be the starting catcher. It was so bad he got sent down. Couldn't hit a lick. So they've had to fill in the spot and didn't really plan to have to do that. That pitch is going to be away, maybe a little bit low, and the count goes to 1-1.
Ubaldo wanted that one. Looked like a pretty good location there with the fastball down and away. He's hitting that spot, all filling up the box.
1-1, and that one will be fouled off at the plate. Chirinos is 29 years old. He was acquired in the trade with the Rays at the beginning of last year. He hasn't been a catcher throughout his career. He started catching in 2009. He had been a utility infielder in the Tampa organization and then converted to a catcher out of Venezuela. 1-2 count with 2 away, and a swing and a miss went up and got him. So the first strikeout. No runs, no hits, no errors. 2 are left on base, 2 complete here in Texas and Arlington. No score. Baseball on Masson is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Find Southwest Airlines fares online only at southwest.com. And by AT&T, mobilizing your world. I don't think they've got any fish in there, but it's pretty. The ballpark here, Globe Life Park, home of the Rangers, and Cowboys Stadium, the spaceship that landed down the road a little bit. The sports complex here, along with the big amusement park on the way into the stadiums. Joe Saunders with a walk, no strikeouts. We go to the third. Joseph Markakis and Machado will be coming up against him. Joseph back in behind the plate. He will take that one for a strike.
Caleb Joseph still trying to find his rhythm at the plate right now. You saw his batting average down, but once again he was out early hitting today.
Getting a lot of playing time here, trying to get those numbers up against the left-handers who he hits so well in the minors. He is 2 for 19 off lefties coming into the ballgame. Off-speed delivery will float in on the outside corner. That's a Joe Saunders pitch right there. And the count goes to 1-2.
Yeah, he'll flip that slow curve in there typically for strikes, and then he'll throw it a little harder for the chases, down and in, try to bounce them.
Just up high with that one. The interesting thing, we showed you the fact he is 7-0 against the Orioles, but his ERA against the O's is 4.09. And a swing and a foul tip that is held onto, and that will be his first strikeout.
Well, they showed Caleb Joseph the slow breaking ball for the second strike. Here's the hard slider, down and in, back foot slider, and a perfect location for the veteran pitcher.
In light of the fact that he had that injury that prevented him from starting a number of games, this is only his third. This is his home debut this year. And, the other 2 starts came on the road this season. And the pitch to Markakis is there for a strike. Nick grounded out his first time up. Markakis with the 306 against the lefties. Nick has really maintained a solid average against left-handers here through the first 2 months. And the pitch is down low.
Once again, another third baseman. Now, we talked about the defensive alignment on Markakis, everybody playing straight up typically, and still unbelievable. The third baseman will play tight and on the grass typically. You see him in close, taking the bunt away.
In the air the other way, this could be a tough play. It's going to fall for a base hit. Choice had no chance. He was deep in left field. So Markakis has got an 8-game hit streak and a 1-out single.
You take what you can here. Tough pitch in the inside corner. Markakis somehow able to get enough bat on it to find some grass in that outfield. Streak alive.
It's going to be his 24th hit to left field. 28 to center and 18 to right. So predominantly on the left side of the ballpark for the left-handed hitting Markakis. Here's Manny Machado lined out his first time up. Nick will be held by Moreland at first base, and that will be fouled back by Machado. For Manny, a moment to remember.
Well, fourth plate appearance of that day, and that ball finds the bottom of his power zone. Bases were loaded. Feldman misses his spot. Machado makes him pay. Earlier in that ball game, roped a double to the left center gap, so his confidence was starting to rise. He hammered that grand slam.
Saunders' delivery to him, and the fastball is going to be up high. Machado on the road trip has a 6 for 29. Grand slam home run and 5 RBIs on the road trip. Where the Orioles, as we said, continue to do well on the road, hitting .275 in road games. Machado got all of that one to center field. Martin going back on the warning track, and he will put it away right up against the wall, 404 feet away.
Oh, Manny back-to-back at bats with great contact. Didn't look like he got that one off the bat. He gets behind this baseball. Good extension. I didn't think Manny thought he got it. See Martin tracking that baseball, and it takes him right up to the wall.
So gave it a ride, but not quite. Runner at first. That'll bring up Cruz. Now 2 down. Cruz drew the Saunders walk. Schiff put on against him. That whole side over there wide open. We will be amazed if Nick Markakis tries to steal a base.
Right.
In this situation.
No way you run it with Nelson Cruz at the plate.
Delivery to him, and that one in the air. Martin coming over, sliding, and makes a nice catch. A couple of hard hit balls right there by Machado and Cruz, but not for the Orioles. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left on base. thing as they got Johan Santana signed. He's on the 15-day DL on the 40-man roster, though. And Duquette said we can see through the process we started a few weeks ago. A couple more outings, he should be able to help for the major league team. The information we're getting. So, Buck Showalter's anxious. There are the numbers for Santana.
Yeah, that's in his career now. 2-time Cy Young Award winner, of course. And I think what the Orioles and Dan Duquette are encouraged about is they have a trainer that has worked with Santana.
This is going to be a tough play. Jimenez up, quick throw. Not going to get it. It'll go wide. Backed up. He's going to try for second. Nope, he's going to come back. Jonathan Schoop had to chase it down. And their 20-year-old second baseman, Odor, and the first pitch is on.
He lays down a beautiful bunt right there. Jimenez to throw off balance as it sails up that line. Take a look. Even on Manny Machado, Platinum Glover, that's perfect placement right there. But Jimenez kind of rushing his throw because of the speed. Really can't get his feet underneath him. Makes it up the line. Chris Davis can't even make an attempt.
That'll be the first hit for Texas. Will be a base hit, infield single, and another speedster. Sin-Chu Chu will stand in. He drew a walk his first time up. He is DHing in the ball game. Up high for a ball. Mike Buck Showalter was saying on Santana before the game today, he said, I'm going to have 6 starters, and he's going to be the 6th. He wants a 6-man rotation.
Well, he could potentially have one there if Santana continues to keep progressing the way he has been. And what I was going to say was Chris Corrente, Orioles assistant trainer.
Runner going, Davis diving, got to get it to Jimenez, and does for the out. A nice play to find even one out there, and Chu is retired.
Beautiful diving play right there by Chris Davis. It seems like every time I start that story, something happens. Well, here's a look. You see Odor on the run, but Chris Davis filling up that hole. That is such a tough play for a first baseman. Now he's holding the runner on and really has to make some room with Jonathan Schoop in double play depth.
Go Santana,
oh, okay,
go.
I'll talk about that story. So anyway, Chris Corrente, Orioles assistant trainer, has been working with Santana on that rehab process down in spring training. And he has worked with him before. He was with the Mets when Santana had gone through some shoulder surgeries, so there's a familiarity there, and I think Dan Duquette obviously trusts him and his evaluation, and of course the numbers kind of speak for themselves too. Santana's velocity is slowly starting to climb. He has a good separation between his changeup and fastball, and I think Buck would love to have that veteran presence in this rotation at some point.
So we'll see. 15-day DL for Santana, and they don't think it's going to take more than that for him to be ready to help the big club. Here's Andrus with a runner on at second base. They had a chance of the second inning. 0 for 1 with runners in scoring position for Texas in the ball game. Andrus gets the second chance, hit into a double play his first time up. Jimenez's pitch is going to miss on the 82-mile-an-hour delivery, and the count goes to 1 ball, 1 strike. This is what we talked about with Texas, trying to find the hits in these situations to get the runs in, to get the people on, but they can't get them home. Andrus has had a real tough year. With runners in scoring position, he's 4 for 37. That's a 108 batting average.
I'll take a look at the breaking ball from Ubaldo. Perfect location, down and away, right on the outside corner. And you see the movement that he gets. His fastball's got some good life with the two-seamer. Of course, that nasty split finger is a big-time strikeout pitch, but he has enough movement in the zone.
Souvenir back into the seats. And a 1 ball, 2 strike count from Jimenez. Andrus with the 2 for 12 off the Orioles starter. Jimenez has been stingy with runners in scoring position. Opponents are only hitting .206, which really doesn't jive up with his ERA of 4.65 overall. Here's the 1-2 pitch, and he thought about it. Did he go? Check at first base. No. Jim Reynolds down there at first.
Well, Andrus thinking this split finger is going to stay up at the top of the zone, and it ends up working its way in. And he flinches on it, but he does keep that bat head back.
2-ball, 2-strike delivery to him. Grounded towards the hole. Hardy's got a long throw to make. Speedy runner. Got him! Oh! And we may have Ron Washington coming out on this one. The safe sign given by his player, Andrus. So Washington will make the slow walk while his video replay guy takes a look at this and decides whether they should challenge or not.
Well, looked like a pretty good play right there from J.J. Hardy. I don't think anybody knows the speed of the ball, speed of the runner as well as him. And he just turns and fires. He was hustling down the line. It's hard to come by here. He's sniffing this one out. Big lunge at the end. Boy, really tough to.
No challenge.
Even see from that angle.
There's no challenge, and I think Jim Reynolds had it again. Absolutely amazes me after all these years. When we have the video replay watching, how many calls they get right that are so close.
So close.
And they got that one, and Washington will not challenge.
Well, good play all the way around. Of course, J.J. Hardy making a quick snap throw, but a beautiful stretch by Chris Davis as well, getting out there, reaching as far as he can.
So now there are 2 down, and the runner had to stay at second with that ground ball in front of him to Hardy. So Odor unable to move up, and Moreland, who flied out to left field, now gets the RBI chance with a big shift on against him. Jonathan Scope is way out there in right field. Moreland, 333 with runners in scoring position, one of their better numbers, and the veteran fouls it back.
This is one of those situations we were talking about earlier in the ballgame when you have a big shift. Manny Machado, of course, Bobby Dickerson would like to shift Machado, but with the speed on second base, J.J. Hardy's got to keep him close. Manny Machado's got to honor that steal possibility, so he's got to shorten up as well.
The delivery to him and a swing and a miss on a heater away, and Mitch Moreland trying to get one to drive, could not catch up to that one. Jimenez wants the new baseball and a 1-ball 2-strike count.
See Bobby Dickerson and Matt Wieters. Matt Wieters now an extra coach since being on the disabled list, really learning a lot about defensive positioning, probably why they're making these adjustments.
Moreland's going to step out. Major League 253 career hitter. Been in Texas since 2010. 1-ball 2-strike delivery, and that'll be up high. And Jimenez, the 91-mile-an-hour fastball, evens up the count at 2-2. He is, however, up to 47.
Just kind of rearing back and letting that one go at the top of the zone. Moreland chasing a fastball up.
2-2 delivery, and that was right there, and he knew it. So Jimenez will get the strikeout, and despite a leadoff single, no runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 left on base. Some fine defense on Chu. It was Davis who knocked it down, and then on Andrus, Hardy with a close play got him. No score. Brought to you by University of Maryland University College, October 5, 2012. Nate McLouth, final out. American League wildcard game, the first one ever. Orioles won it 5-1, defeating who? Yeah, that's right, the Texas Rangers. Pitching for them who? That's right, Joe Saunders is pitching against them tonight. He helped the Birds win their first postseason game since '97, advancing to the American League Division Series against the Yankees. And now, here he is back in a Texas uniform.
Yeah, there's his numbers back in the 2012 playoffs. 5 2/3, just the 6 hits, 1 earned run. It was an unbelievable performance and a great playoff win for the Orioles. And Joe Saunders, a huge part of that. Now, when he was brought over, 3-3 record on the year. And Buck Showalter said, I want the veteran lefty to make this start here at Arlington Stadium. And Buck Showalter, a great call right there. I think in a lot of ways he understands that a veteran pitcher might be able to overcome a lot of the nerves. And I think also in those type of situations, playoff games, the atmosphere and the adrenaline is up so much that you can have a pitcher like Joe Saunders, and we talk about him taking advantage of over aggressiveness. I think that's the kind of stuff that happened, and that's why he had so much success in that wild card game.
Adam Jones leading off here for the Orioles. We go to the 4th inning. He's picked up a single. The Orioles have 2 hits. Jones and Nick Markakis. Texas has only 1. Odor in the infield hit. 0-2-0 for the Orioles. 0-1-0 Texas. Each team has left 3 on base. That'll be fouled off by Adam Jones. All of the games in Houston except for that last one where the Orioles broke it open with the grand slam home run by Manny Machado were close pitchers duels. They won the last one 9-4. This one is starting out through the first 3 innings at least as a pitcher dominated game.
Well, it seems like this whole road trip in Milwaukee, there were close ball games, an extra inning game up there, and then of course coming into Houston where the Astros are so red hot.
Jones the other way down that line, curving, and a home run off the fair pole for Adam Jones. It stayed true, right straight down the line, hit that fair pole, and Adam Jones has got the long ball. His 7th of the year, and the Orioles have a 1-0 lead.
Boy, that is amazing right there. Adam Jones so strong. To be able to keep that ball fair straight down the right field line and hit it that deep is impressive.
That was a shot. His 31st RBI of the season. Saunders gives up just his 2nd home run of the year in the 3 starts that he has made. Both have been hit by right-handers. And for Adam Jones, watch this one.
Well, this pitch up and away, possibly off the plate away. And he gets the bat head to it and just hammers that ball right down the right field line. And there it goes off the fair pole.
347 feet away down that line. You got the short porch. And there are only 2 corners, right or left, where you get that kind of a home run. As that stand comes back towards the corner. And if you don't hit it there, then you got a shot if you get to the power alleys and up the center. So Jones happy about it, and so are the Orioles as they pick up the lead. Adam Jones now 9 career home runs against Texas, and 6 of the 9 have been hit in this ballpark. Chris Davis grounded out his first time up. The 1-2 delivery to him, and he'll maybe chase on one. Pretty good pitch by Saunders, though, and that's the 2nd strikeout for the left-hander.
That really was a nice breaking ball, 83 miles an hour. The firmer breaking ball, more of a slider. Great location down and away to get Chris Davis.
First out of the inning, and that'll bring up J.J. Hardy. Hardy popped out his first time up. While Hardy has hit well generally against Texas, this ballpark's not been one of his favorites, at least offensively. Only .212 for an average here and a couple of home runs. That'll go into right field. He's got a base hit. Just took it where it was delivered, and the Orioles, with 1 away, have a runner on. The Orioles are going to return home on Friday. They've got a 9-game homestand coming up, which they will welcome after this long road trip. The A's, the Red Sox, and the Blue Jays back to division play. And that night, the first 15,000 fans on that opener Friday, fans 15 and over at the game against the A's, are going to get a pair of Orioles sunglasses presented by Visit Sarasota County. It's a celebration of Birdland as the Orioles get back home. 888-848-BIRD for ticks. Swing and a miss. Young flied out to left field his first time up. The DH, 16th game he has DH'd in for the Orioles.
Delman Young just got the rare changeup from Joe Saunders. Couple base hits back to back. Not back to back, excuse me. Davis punched out, but the home run the other way, and then J.J. Hardy with the single the other way. Saunders deciding to mix things up a little bit to the right-handed hitters.
Only limited at bats for everybody, this being his third start. Right-handers, though, were 10 for 32 against him with a home run coming into this game. Pretty high average. Lefty is only 1 out of 6, only 6 at bats against him. Delivery on the way, inside out, popped up. That'll be back into the seats. And a 1-ball, 2-strike count from Saunders. Young would like to launch one of those down the other line if he could get a hold of it. He's 222 off left-handers. The only home run he's had this year against a lefty. 300 against right-handers. And that pitch will be inside. Take a look at this ballpark, and right now it is a pitcher's yard for this season. The runs per game, 10th highest. The batting average, 9th. The home runs per game, 2nd lowest, and the ERA, the 8th highest. So you're talking about a ballpark that's tended to favor the pitchers, especially when it comes to the runs and home runs.
Yeah, I mean, this park playing a lot differently over the last couple of years. The power numbers down overall here at Arlington. Now, granted, this Rangers offense has changed quite a bit over the years as well. They've lost a lot of their big boppers, but they did some construction here at this park 2 years ago. They built a restaurant behind home plate.
Young's going to take it the other way. It'll stay up, though. Going to try for 2. Threw it away. Real nice play. Arinos came over to back it up, but that would have been a free base for the Orioles. Young is retired.
Arinos, a strong arm out there in right field. Pretty aggressive play. A beautiful job backing up. Right.
You're right, though, about the construction, Mike, because it did change what goes on in this ball.
It did. There used to be a wall up in front of the restaurant, and you can see up here they created a big hole, and it caused a draft. Now the air gets sucked through there instead of pushes itself back out. And in talking to Dave Anderson's in town, he works for the Orioles now in the minor leagues, and he's here to help Buck Showalter in this series. And he had talked about when the flags are blowing in, the ball goes out. And it's just a jet stream. The wind loops around and pushes balls back out towards right center. Well, now with that hole there by the restaurant, the air gets sucked through there. So it seems to be limiting the home run production. And the numbers over the last couple of years have shown that.
May not have been intentional, although it might have been, because this team expected to live on pitching. So he may have wanted that to have a ballpark a little fairer to the pitchers and not one where you had one of those jet streams blowing out. But I suspect that was an accident.
Yeah, I think so too. I don't think they thought that was going to be the case. I don't think they're unhappy with it, especially now with the kids playing and where they're really having to rely on their pitching, even though most of them are injured. That one in the gap. That's a long way out there through that 377 mark. Making the turn at third is Hardy. They stop him. The relay throw is right on the money. Bobby Dickerson, a wise choice on that one. Down to second base with a double goes Jonathan Scope. Well, Jonathan Scope, one of the Orioles out for early batting practice as well, his 8th double of the season, and he just hammers this ball to right center. That is on a line beating Rios deep. You see it get hung up in the corner, and third base coach Bobby Dickerson, he had his arm waving the whole way, but at the last second he sees the relay come clean. He holds J.J. Hardy up. Look at that arm waving. Then no, whoa, Wheels Hardy, get on back there. Good job of base running. Great job third base coaching.
Good trail boss, holding the herd. Wheels at the stop. Double for Scope. Full windup by Saunders, and the pitch will be taken outside. So Joseph, a strikeout victim, his first time up. The Orioles' second chance with a runner in scoring position. The Orioles still lead the American League 281. The overall team average with runners in scoring position. Boy, this would be a big hit right here. Saunders' pitch, and that will miss away, maybe a little bit low. Count goes to 2-0. Torino's thought that was a strike. Having a little discussion with the home plate umpire without taking the mask off.
Yeah, Saunders wanted that one as well, right at the bottom of the pitch track box. Saunders needs those low strikes.
2-0 count. One to hit right here. Joseph got one, drives it up in the air to right field. Rios, though, has got time to get back and under, and he will put it away. So the Orioles are retired. They will pick up the run on 3 hits, no errors. 2 are left on. A leadoff homer, number 7 on the year by Adam Jones, gives the Orioles the 1-0 lead. You by PNC Bank for the achiever in you.
Well, this week it's John Keller. This Delmarva team is loaded. Keller off to a fabulous start. Last 10 appearances, 2-0 record with a .41 earned run average, holding opponents to a 127 this season. Numbers awesome as well. 2-0, 1.80 earned run average. Opponents hitting just 165. And this team, this Delmarva team, they're sending 5 guys to the All-Star game this year. We've talked about Hunter Harvey, Vader, Yastrzemski. Well, John Keller is right there on this list. Unfortunately, not going to the All-Star game, but a real good middle reliever for that team.
And we go to the bottom half of inning number 4. The Orioles, on the home run by Jones, get the lead. They're 5 hits in the ball game, over 1 for Texas. And that one up in the air to left field, and Adrian Beltre got it all way back, and goodbye home run. Beltre, 1-1, his 6th of the year.
Well, they're going to be leaning on Adrian Beltre for a lot more of this offensive support. He gets a hold of a breaking ball. You see it hanging in the middle of the plate. Such a dangerous hitter. He gets to it and stays through it. And there goes a solo shot to start off the 4th.
That is his 2nd career home run against Jimenez. 7th given up by Jimenez this year. 4 by right-handers, and he got 376 feet out of that home run. And off the bat, we're pretty sure that was gone, and so was he. Here's Rios, flied out his first time up, goes to short. Hardy with a shift on is right there and hauls it in, and there again, that's a base hit if you don't have the shift on.
Yeah, nice reaction by J.J. Hardy. The whole left side of the infield filled up with Scope, Hardy, and Machado, and J.J. Hardy, the nice instincts, makes the running play on the line drive.
Oriole pitchers, starting pitchers, are tied for 8th in the league in home runs surrendered coming into the game. Pitch will be in the outside corner for a strike. Michael Choice, young left fielder. He drew a walk his first time up, showed real patience at the plate. And will whip that one down the line the other way, and that is going to be a foul ball. Ended up not going in the seats. There's not much room down there, though. When you get by the corner of the stands to the foul pole. Or in Adam Jones' case, the fair pole. 0-2 count. Choice will take the pitch. It's close, 1-2.
Real close, just missing there. Looked like that ball was filling up the pitch track, and it shows it did.
Foul ball, and that will keep the at-bat alive. Jimenez has walked 2, struck out 2. Saunders a walk and a couple of strikeouts. Orioles trying to move 2 above 500 if they can do the victory here tonight. 1-2 delivery, and that's strike 3. Jimenez gets his 3rd strikeout of the game.
Well, Choice not happy with the call, but man, these pitches are all over the strike zone, and that one right on the outside corner. Jimenez real aggressive there in the zone. Every pitch a quality pitch. Finally able to get the K.
Looking to get out of this inning after the leadoff home run, the off-speed pitch in for a strike. Leonis Martin drew a walk his first time up. Back-to-back walks in the second inning, 2 down. Rangers had a chance, but Jimenez got the strikeout. That one is a called strike. Martin turns around to have a word with Manny Gonzalez, the home plate umpire, and the shift you see moves. Pushed off the jersey and inside.
You know, some hitters, and we've seen different types of shifts. Some hitters with 2 strikes, they'll kind of go back to a more traditional type of defense, and other hitters, they get into panic mode with 2 strikes, and they try to really get it done and hit that ball out of the pitcher's hand, and it seems like this is what happens here. Orioles infield moving all the way over to the pull side.
And a ground ball right back to the box. Jimenez makes a nice play on it, and that will retire the side. Adrian Beltre developed the leadoff homer, his 6th of the year. 1 run, 1 hit, no errors, nobody left in a tie game. On social media by joining the O's Bird's Nest. Join the conversation now at ozbirdsnest.com and enter today's bonus code GENTILE before midnight and receive 2 bonus tokens and be entered to win the monthly prize of the autographed player photo and maybe the grand prize of tickets to opening day next year. The O's Bird's Nest, and that is Jim Gentile. He is at the ballpark tonight celebrating his birthday with his family. He had 46 home runs in 1961, led the league with 141 RBIs. And Jim celebrating his 29th birthday for the third, fourth, fifth time, something like that, here at the ballpark tonight. Great to see Jim on hand. Gentlemen, Jim Gentile.
Boy, and we've seen his name come up quite often here recently. All the home run numbers that Cruz has been putting up and the RBI production, his number has been right there for like monthly totals and records for the Orioles.
He's one of my favorites growing up as a real youngster. There was something about Gentile and that big swing, that big powerful swing. He and Ted Kluszewski, Chris Williams was my hero, but those guys were really fun to watch. Boog, I mean, when they came to the plate, you knew they were going to hit the ball to some other country.
Right.
When they came up, and you were just waiting for it to happen. Joe Saunders working here to the top of the order. Nick Markakis, our ball game tied at 1, 5th inning. That'll be a chopper. Odor makes the flip. Markakis is retired, 1 away. When the Orioles win, everyone wins, and all season long, when the Orioles win and score 5 or more runs, you get 50% off regular menu price online orders at papajohns.com by entering promo code Orioles5. Better ingredients, better pizza. Papa John's, valid at participating Baltimore area Papa John's. Orioles skipper Buck Showalter always happy to get back to Texas and home. Rarely do managers have the opportunity to sleep in their own beds, their real own beds, in the course of the season. The delivery will be taken for a strike. Manny Machado is lined out, flied out. The Orioles have won 5 consecutive games against these Texas Rangers. They took the series last year 5 games to 2, which is the exact same record Texas had against the Orioles the year before. Swapped off on 5-2 seasons. Orioles here in this ballpark are 40-49 in regular season play. Swung on a miss. Plate scraper right there. Machado 0 for 2 is lined out and flied out.
Pretty good changeup from Saunders. He hasn't thrown a lot of them in this ball game. The ones he's thrown have been quality down in the zone.
Left-hander with the 1-2 delivery on the way, and that inside-out swing will take it to center. Martinez there, and he's got it. Seems as though the ball is really carrying tonight. Those line drives, fly balls are staying up in the air. They're not being knocked down. As promised earlier in the game, our AT&T's fan photo. Celebrate. Celebrate. Okay, sit down.
Something good happened. You know what? I bet he wants to get on camera right there.
What
That's
was
what
it?
it is.
What was it?
He wants to get on the center field camera, so he's up dancing or something.
He's up dancing. That's what it is.
Excitement.
It is. So he was having a good time and a little aerobic exercise to go with it. 2 down, nobody on here. Here is Cruz. Drew a walk and flied out. Nelson at the top of the pile in so many offensive categories. Towards second, they shifted the other way. Odor, he's 20 years old out there at second base, and he's learning the game. He doesn't look too bad right now. Looks like he's 15. Cruz wishes he wasn't here. little bit of offense. The Orioles turning a double play that really helped out in that first inning. Markakis hauling in a line drive, then a big double play set up by Hardy. Jones down the line, opposite field homer off the fair pole, giving the Orioles a 1-0 lead for a moment, to be tied up by Beltre in the fourth inning with his home run. 1-5-0 for the Orioles, 1-2-0 for the Rangers. Saunders with a walk and 2 strikeouts, and Jimenez for the Orioles, 2 walks and 3 Ks.
See his pitch count at 62, but really aggressive that last inning in the strike zone.
That'll bring Chirinos up to the plate. 8, 9, and 1 due up against Jimenez, and that fastball is right there for a strike. Robinson Chirinos getting the work behind the plate. He's become their regular catcher. Good job defensively. Bat, not so much. And that will be bounced all the way to the backstop. And Texas had been out looking to see if there was any way to bolster the offense from behind the plate, but as the Orioles well know, and making a search, that's not easy to do.
Boy, it sure isn't. And they were really kind of counting on J.P. Arencibia to step up and add some offense. And he is a veteran catcher, been around for a few years, but he seemed to be on the decline when he was with the Blue Jays. Still had that home run production, but the average way down, the strikeouts way up, and when he came over here, just not much working at all.
That one drilled in the air to left field. Cruz going back near that scoreboard, not going to get it. It'll take a hop off the middle of the board, and it will be a leadoff double here in the 5th inning. So much for the no bat.
He gets on the breaking ball. This one's staying hard of the plate. He gets the bat head to it. Hooks out there at the base of the wall. One hop up, but he's easily into second base.
So a chance for the Rangers to get the lead. The Orioles are going to play this as a bunt situation. Odor, their second baseman, singled his first time up in the infield hit. Machado's way in. He does square. He will take the pitch up high for a ball. So Ron Washington maybe going to play a little small ball here in the 5th inning.
Well, talk about they bunt more than any team in the American League, and Odor had that base hit for a bunt in his first at bat.
Squares, drops it. It's a beauty. Just gets him at first base. Runner will move up though. Chirinos over third, 1 out.
Oh, that great speed on the left side of the box. Another perfect bunt for Odor, and Manny Machado, he's on top of it, has to barehand it, and then it's a quick set your feet and fire the ball because of the speed. That's good footwork by Machado, and fires a strike on to Davis.
And the Orioles are going to play a little small ball defensively, as they're going to move the infield in here in this 1-1 ball game in the 5th inning. And Chu, who has walked and grounded out, will stand in. He too with outstanding speed. And the pitch is in the dirt. Keep in mind, Jimenez has 3 wild pitches and 3 hit batters on the year. We saw in his last outing a run score on a wild pitch.
Right. He likes to bury that ball down in the zone. Caleb Joseph, he's caught him before, so aware of what can potentially happen. That was a nice block there on the split finger from Caleb Joseph.
Chu just 238 with runners in scoring position. A lot of room between third and short because he pulls the ball on the ground, and a swing and a miss on it. 1 ball and 1 strike. Leadoff batter Sing-Soo Chu has made a very real difference on this ball club as expected, but even more so in light of the injuries, making him one of their lead veterans. Jimenez delivers to him. Chu will take it outside.
Well, some great years with Cleveland. He has a lot of power potential. You mentioned his speed. Good overall hitter. He can really put some pressure on a pitcher and some defense. And Orioles hoping that Jimenez can work down and get a ground ball here with the drawn in infield.
Chu does not go after many pitches that are out of the strike zone. The delivery to him, and that's going to be taken down low. So falls behind 3-1 on Chu, with Elvis Andrus waiting on deck. Chu has picked up 32 walks on the year. He's an on-base percentage up there over 400. 3-1 strike count, runner off third base. Chu takes, it's a strike. He wanted to go to first. Recoils the bat and will stand back in for another 3-2.
Well, there are a couple strikes on breaking balls here. The backdoor slider catches the outside corner to stay in this count. 3-2. One thing that Ubaldo does, he's not afraid to mix up his pitches. Everything different, no true pattern.
3-2, and he got it by him. Jimenez, a big fourth strikeout of the ball game and the second out of the inning.
A couple breaking balls for strikes. It's the count to 3-2, and look at that two-seam fastball take off, just 89 miles an hour, but there was some late life at the end. It just darted away from Chu, the big strikeout.
We'll bring up another one of their speedsters. Elvis Andrus has grounded out, hit into a double play. Infield back, 2 down. He didn't even have the bat off his shoulder. He took that first pitch, never intending to swing.
Yeah, made like a statue up there.
And then as for the 1-0 delivery to him, he intended to swing on that one. The bat goes on the backstop on the third base side, and the ball back into the seats, foul.
So first pitch decides he's not even going to move, and next pitch it didn't seem like it was going to matter where it was. He was going to swing here. The breaking ball, and it goes off the plate about 6 inches. So much that he's got to reach and loses the grip on the bat. It goes flying.
So Andrus will stand back in. Only 25 years old, but a veteran already in the majors. And the pitch will be taken up high. He's going to be, this is his 6th full year with Texas. And he came on the scene, big time prospect, and once he came, he hasn't left.
Well, he's got a lot of tools. I don't know that he's lived up to the billing or projection for the young player, because just a very talented defensive type player, but he's shown some inconsistencies defensively and even offensively. I think they've been expecting a little bit more out of his bat, but still so young. And you know, his prime is a long way away, and all these years learning as a young player, he's got a lot of better years in front of him.
Andrus will foul that one back, and the count will stay at 3 balls and 2 strikes. There's the runner at third, the leadoff double. Sereno's got it. But as has happened so often, Texas trying to find that hit to get a run in. So far, Jimenez denying. 3-2 for the second time. And that one down the line near that pole again. That is a foul ball. Into that corner and foul by just that much.
Yeah, kind of a prevent swing here to keep the bat alive, and he's trying to work it down that right field line. But that English off the bat makes it fade just foul.
Right-handed hitters seem to be having a good time tonight, aiming for that short porch in right field. A lot of foul balls down there, and Adam Jones' home run down there. Go back again on that 3-2. And a swing and a miss. Jimenez gets it done. They leave a runner on at third. And our Honda do-ups, Adam Jones, who's had the home run, Chris Davis and J.J. Hardy. He'll be coming up as we go to the 6th inning in a tied ball game, 1-1. Ball on Masson is brought to you by PNC Bank, for the achiever in you, and by Luna. For beautiful new carpet, hardwood, and laminate, call 877-241-LUNA. Here's the ballpark, Globe Life Park. Ubaldo Jimenez coming up with the big strikeouts when needed. He's got 5 of them, 2 in that inning. A runner in scoring position, holds the ball game at 1-1. Keeps this pitching duel going into the 6th. Adam Jones, a home run his last time up. Number 7 on the year, and the first opposite field home run he has had this year. 1 to left, 5 to center, and now 1 to right for Adam Jones. Last couple of years, he's not hit many balls out of the ballpark to right field. He lashes that one into left, and he's got a base hit. So Adam is 3 for 3 in the ball game. Just liking those barbecued ribs. Leadoff single.
He's liking those lefties, I'll tell you that. And one good sign is when you see Adam Jones start using the whole field, you know he's starting to get locked in. And today, one of those games, the 3 hits, and of course that solo home run.
So the Orioles get the leadoff man on. Shift taking place. Orioles have had the leadoff man on twice, both times it's been Jones with a homer and a single. Ball game tied at 1, 6 hits for the O's. Chris Davis has struck out and grounded out. Double play depth on the shift. And the pitch is down low for a ball. Chris Davis hoping to get it going here in the month of June. Talking with him in Houston, said, I know what Cruz feels like when he gets into these tears like he's having now, hitting the ball hard out of the ballpark. So that's the way it was for me last year. I'm just trying to find that again. Cranks that one foul up into the seats. Take a look at our Jeep Inside the Numbers. Looking to pick up on the uptick. Take a look at the OPS season numbers and the career numbers. Davis, Hardy, Jones, Markakis, Machado, all below this season their career OPS numbers. It doesn't mean necessarily bad, but it does mean not what they at the Orioles had hoped for, and now hoping they can get those numbers. If all of them could move the numbers up a little bit, it would really add to the offense. Well,
they'd really love that. I mean, I think last year, though, Chris Davis, that monster year, quite possibly a career year for Davis with, the 53 home runs, and Manny Machado also with a monster kind of career year. But I'll tell you what, a lot of these guys are veteran players, Markakis, Jones, and Hardy. And Buck Showalter loves to talk about the track record, things they've done in the past, and they will eventually get back to those type of numbers, and they need them to this season to really kind of help bolster the offense and increase that on-base plus slugging percentage. And those are some big boppers in this lineup, and they do count on them, for production.
Just reading a bunch of stories today online about the American League East not being what everybody thought it would be. The injury is a primary reason for that. Tampa Bay numbers way down, and it looks like it's going to be just a wild and wide open race. And many of those who take a look at what teams are on pace to do have said they don't think there'll be a 90-game winner in the American League East. If that's true, it's going to be a real jaunt to the finish line.
Yeah, it is going to be a dogfight indeed. I mean, I think the Orioles still waiting to kind of catch fire and have everything work on all cylinders. They have had a 5-game win streak the first couple months, but really haven't quite tied it all together.
High in the air to left field. This ball's carrying back, wall, and off the wall. Jones had to wait. He's getting to second and only second. We said earlier the ball tonight in this park is really carrying. Once it gets up in the air, it just goes and goes and goes. Choice that time thought he had a play on it, and it just kept going.
Yeah, that one got so high that I think it was affected by the wind. Davis puts his head down. Choice thinks he's got a beat on it, but here it goes. It's drifting, and it ends up going high off that left field wall. Adam Jones thought it was going to be a routine type play as well. He went back to first base to tag. That's why he's only standing on second base.
Well, the Orioles get a shot at a big inning. Runners on at first and second, nobody out. That's about as long a single as you're ever going to see. You see the wind, those flags blowing in from right field right now. But as we said, you get that ball up, there's still some swirl here that'll carry the ball out. See if the Orioles can take advantage of it. Here's Hardy. He'll take the pitch away for a ball. Infield double play depth. Hardy has singled and he has popped out. Game is tied at 1. The Orioles out hitting Texas now 7-3. J.J. Hardy, that second best average with runners in scoring position in the league at .393. And Saunders gets the fastball into it.
J.J. picked up that nice base hit to right field. There's Jason Frazier warming up in that Rangers bullpen. There's a nice hole for J.J. to look at. The young second baseman keeping Adam Jones tight at second base.
Saunders with just a turnaround look, no throw.
Look at that big hole there. Now Moreland coming off because of the runner at second base, but there's still a lot of room for J.J. to work with if he wants to.
1-1 delivery is going to be taken down low. Marino's able to block it, hang on to it. Saunders had just his third start, so the pitch count obviously being watched, along with his effectiveness as we roll along here. Whether or not he's going to tire, that arm certainly not at full strength yet. Only 8 2/3 innings worked in the first 2 starts. Hardy on a check, and that's there. And you could see J.J. knew that. He had held up though and already committed to take it.
And possibly thinking about something else. 91-mile-an-hour fastball on that outer third. Saunders' velocity staying pretty true in this ball game. 91-92 consistently. It doesn't appear to be fatiguing.
That ball will be put up in the air, right field. Rios with a runner tagging at second base. Jones. He'll throw. He'll cut it off. And that will move Jones over. So Hardy, the fly ball for the out, at least moves Jones over. Now first and third with 1 out.
Nice base running by Adam Jones right there. Tag on Rios, showing a good speed.
And Delman Young's going to get the RBI chance. Delman with an 0 for 2, a couple of fly ball outs as the DH. Marino's out to talk to Saunders. And Elvis Andrus, the shortstop, in there as well. They obviously are going to strike out or a ground ball here for the double play to get out of the inning is what they're after. Delman Young, a pronounced fly ball hitter.
Andrus, you could kind of read his lips there. He was saying, keep it down, keep it down. So wanting the ground ball to help get himself out of this inning. Saunders, also like Jimenez, a fly ball pitcher, about the same kind of numbers. 54% outs off fly balls. Got that one in, and it's a base hit into left field. Jones will score, and Young has the go-ahead RBI for the moment as the Orioles take a 2-1 lead, and Delman Young, the DH of the O's, gets it done. Well, Saunders executed the pitch that he wanted. He got Andrus the ground ball, but he found the hole in that 5-6 hole, caught too much of the plate. He was able to sneak it through there for the go-ahead RBI. 7th RBI of the season for Delman Young. Down to second base goes Davis, and still only 1 away. 3 singles off Saunders in the inning. Jonathan Schoop a double, and he is grounded out. Saunders checks at second. Schoop will take it outside for a ball. Orioles put up 8 hits now. Jones has delivered the home run. Schoop has delivered a double. There are extra base hits in the ball game. Again, the look back. Lefty's pitch. That's going to miss down low. Schoop tonight has clearly
taken more pitches than he has probably in any game already. He's showing patience, and obviously is thinking about it.
Well, that's a good sign. I mean, real good sign for Jonathan Schoop. It appears that he's just trusting his hands, trusting his eyes.
Gets one to hit. It'll go to short, though. Played to second. Odor's relay over to first base. Andrus to Odor to Moreland. The Orioles will get a run. 3 hits, no errors, 1 left on base, and the O's go on top 2-1. The Red Sox 7:05. All fans are going to get an Oriole Way t-shirt. They'll miss this fun new design featuring several popular fan rally cries, images, and moments from the team's proud 60-year history. Celebrate the Oriole Way. Tributes to everything from Wild Bill and the Why Not team to Orioles Magic and Buckle Up Birds. Tickets going fast for the Red Sox series. Get yours. Orioles.com or 888-848-BIRD. Oriole fans have been in all these games on the road for the O's. Milwaukee, Houston, now Texas. Chance to see the ball club for fans maybe from Baltimore, or they're traveling, or obviously who live in these areas, going out to see the O's play. And a good one here. Orioles back on top 2-1. Jimenez. His delivery is there for a strike. Moreland has struck out and flied out.
Orioles, yeah.
What we really ought to do is start pointing out when they don't shift.
You're right.
There isn't a batter anymore that they don't shift on.
That's about as pronounced as you're going to see, though. Manny Machado actually kind of shading up the middle on the shortstop side. It isn't really a true straightaway shortstop, and J.J. Hardy way up the middle over on the second base side. And of course, Jonathan Schoop starting to get real familiar with that shallow right field. Moreland,
Beltre, Rios, meat of this order, 3-4-5 for Texas. Jimenez delivers, and the ball put down the line the other way. That was going to be a foul ball. Right back here with you tomorrow. There are 3 night games, this being the first. Bud Norris and Nick Martinez, the scheduled starters. Miguel Gonzalez, Colby Lewis in game 3 on Thursday. Then the Orioles will head home to open up the homestand on Friday with Oakland coming in. And that pitch off the end of the bat, that'll be nubbed back. But Showalter, in arranging that starting rotation, has given Tillman and Norris 2 extra days rest, the way this is lined up. And he said, I do this based on their history. Some guys you can't give the extra days rest to because they come out too strong. Other pitchers, the extra days rest of the arm gets stronger, control's still there, and it works. So you do it with some and not with others.
Well, I think it's good. I mean, Bud Norris has thrown a lot of innings, really one of the most consistent as far as getting deeper in ball games and Tillman could use a little extra time.
Jones racing. He will get there in time, and Moreland is retired. All right, Krieger Eye Institute upcoming schedule for the Orioles looks like this. From routine to the most specialized eye care, LifeBridge Health's Krieger Eye Institute handles it all. Call 410-601-22 rather. Let's do this again. 410-601-2020. Maybe you can get a same-day appointment, or you just call the wrong number. And pitch is taken for a strike. There's something about that copy. I've read it 1,000 times. It just doesn't work. We're going to change that. We're going to just put the numbers in instead of the stupid words. That ball hit hard into the shift. Jonathan Scope hit so hard he cannot make the play. Boy, that ball was tagged, and it'll be an infield single.
Now really played it about as well as he could. I mean, it was a missile off the bat of Beltre, kind of top spinning out there, and look at him drop low, get behind it with his eyes. But as soon as that ball hits the dirt, it kicks up, and he just can't flag it down with the glove. That's an aggressive drop step, but he was just beat by a bullet from Beltre.
So Beltre's had a home run and a single, 2 for 3. He is now 8 for 20 with 2 home runs lifetime off Jimenez. Here is Rios. He is lined out, flied out. Then as his pitch will miss down low for a ball. 4 hits in the ball game now for Texas. 6th inning, 2-1. Orioles on top. One number I couldn't believe looking at the Texas stats today. They have pitched 11 shutouts this year. And been shut out only 3 times. 11 shutouts.
Yeah.
For a ball club that's missing half its, 3 out of 5 starters. Up in the air outside of first base. Davis is coming over, hoping, reaching, can't get it.
Nice effort there by Chris Davis. Well, I think it's been kind of a mix of the good, the bad, and the ugly for the Rangers rotation as we look at Chris Davis giving chase here. He gets the full extension. Can't come down with it. The ball gets pushed away. A couple of the Rangers guys protecting themselves from Crush Davis. Don't want to get hit with that forearm, that's for sure.
And a swing and a miss. Jimenez keeping it down low. Rangers have 3 more shutouts than any other team in the American League, that being Toronto, and that's primarily because of Mark Buehrle. And for Texas, of course, they have that great stopper in Yu Darvish. Delivery on the way, and that will miss away. 92-mile-an-hour fastball. Another one of those 3-2 counts on Rios with 1 down and a runner on at first base. Runner goes, and it will be foul tipped.
Good breaking ball. Baldo not afraid at all to throw his off-speed pitches. We've seen some good split fingers 3-2, some good sliders 3-2. That was a nasty one there, just darting down and away. Rios had all he could do to get a piece of it.
97 pitches thrown. Beltre gets back to the bag at first base. Base stealers have run on Jimenez this year. Only 3 out of 12 have been caught. Joseph has thrown out 5 of 12. Runner goes. Pitch taken. And it's a ball 4 anyway. So now it's the Rangers' turn to threaten. With 1 away here in the 6th inning. 3rd walk of the ball game. The other 2, Jimenez gave up back-to-back in the 2nd inning. 2 on, 1 out.
Rios, he was aware that he was going to go with some off-speed pitches there and take on the breaking ball down. Some trouble here with runners at first and second.
And Choice goes after the pitch. Foul tipped into the mitt. Well, their left fielder has struck out, drawn a walk in the game. He's just 24 years old. He's playing at home. This is where he lives. He was born in Fort Worth, just a few miles away. Now lives here in Arlington. He played for the University of Texas Arlington for 3 seasons of college baseball.
Baldo up to 100.
Delivery on the way, off the fist, popped up. Hardy will go back. He's under it. Infield fly rule was in effect. Choice is retired, and a big second out.
Baldo getting some good run on that 2-seam fastball, jamming Choice in a big situation.
And that's going to be it. Jimenez is going to come out of the ball game as Buck Showalter comes out to get him and not hesitating. So the Orioles are going to go to the bullpen. Change is good, especially when it's your oil getting changed at Jiffy Lube. Give your vehicle relief with regular oil changes at Jiffy Lube and help stretch the life of your engine. So again, you see Showalter protecting these starters as far as number of pitches that they're throwing in a ball game.
Then Choice goes down on the fastball away, but the split finger was working as well. Nasty down at the bottom of the zone to get Andrews. Tight ball game here, and he did a good job limiting to Texas to just 1 run, but he exits now. Runners at first and second with 2 outs. Brian Mattis now on the hill.
And here is Martin, 1 for 6 off Mattis, a home run. Martin, a chopper on the first pitch he sees. Jonathan Scope will underhand it to Davis, and that will do it. So Jimenez will leave with a chance to be the winning pitcher. No runs a hit, and 2 are left on. Orioles 2 and the Rangers 1.
He gets the Orioles on the board. Is it going to stay fair? Oh, yeah. Off that fair pole. Solo shot right down the right field line. Jimenez in a jam in the 5th. Runner at 3rd. He gets Chu going down on the swing. And a nasty splitty to Andrews to get out of that jam. Delman Young steps up. He beats one through the hole. 5-6 hole, scoring Adam Jones and pick up that RBI. And now the Orioles have that 2-1 lead. Ubaldo Jimenez out of the ball game, 5 2/3, just the 4 hits, 1 earned run. Joe Saunders still in there, 6 strong innings, 8 hits, couple earned runs for him. Remember, Geico, 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
First ball delivered into left field, and that will be a base hit. So the Orioles get the leadoff man on the first pitch seen here in the top of the 7th inning as Joseph guessed fastball, and that's exactly what he got, and he's got a 1 for 3.
There you go, down in the zone. He just drops the head on it, and that baseball finds the 5-6 hole again.
And the Orioles get their 9th hit of the ball game. Saunders with a walk and 2 strikeouts. Top of the order, Markakis. Nick, a base hit. He is 1 for 3. Markakis now has an 8-game hit streak. Beltre will move in on the cut of the grass at 3rd again, as though Nick Markakis might bunt. We're sure there is some eon in which that will happen, but we don't think it's now. Just a guess.
Yeah, this Rangers defense doing Markakis a huge favor. Beltre way in on the grass right now. Of course, Joseph at first base opening up the big hole, so a lot of places for Markakis to work.
1-0 delivery to him. That'll be outside. And Saunders with the 2-0 count on Nick Markakis. Orioles on top. Saunders has got to be close to the pitch count where they would be seriously thinking about taking him out, this being only his 3rd start of the year. He is a workhorse, however. He's one of those rubber arms, and there aren't many left. Ground ball goes off his glove. Back flip's going to be wide. Nobody out. Well, that's about all Andrus could do. He tried to make one of those highlight reel flips to second base to Odor, but he couldn't get it there.
Really tried to make something up, actually. Ball tipping off Saunders' glove. Here you go. And then it kind of jumps out. Tricks Andrus. Then he's got to take a different line. Well, he tries to flip it with his glove. There may have been time for him to actually make the glove to hand transfer.
And that will be it, as Saunders is going to come out of the ball game. So the Orioles drive the starter out, just his 3rd start of the year. Orioles have a 2-1 lead and look to tack on some runs to Saunders' line.
Six-plus innings, 10 hits given up, a couple earned runs, just the 1 walk, 2 strikeouts. Orioles able to find some holes, 101 pitches, 2nd start since returning from the disabled list. Joe Saunders, pretty good outing. I'm sure Manager Ron Washington happy with that. Jason Frazier now comes in out of this Rangers bullpen. 21 games this year. That 2.0 earned run average, lowest out of the pen. 18 innings of work, 20 strikeouts to 7 base on balls for Frazier. Frazier, long-time Toronto Blue Jay, ends up signing with the Rangers this offseason.
Has a blown save opportunity. It's another problem for Texas. Their closing role is not filled at the moment. Frazier, though, has gone 5 straight scoreless outings, 4 1/3 innings in those appearances. And he's going to be facing the Orioles with nobody out, runners on at first and second base, and Manny Machado up. Singles here by Joseph and Markakis have put runners on. The Orioles with a 2-1 lead in the 7th. Machado's got an 0 for 3. He's hit the ball hard, shows bunt down to third, and that will roll foul.
Well, not a bad idea, really. I think Manny doing that on his own, though. No hits in this ball game, although he has squared up the ball every time he's gone up. And the importance of kind of getting runners into scoring position. Of course, Nelson Cruz behind him, but the problem is if Manny doesn't get on base, they're just going to walk Cruz.
Infield, in at first and third, now playing for the bunt. They squeeze the middle, so the right and left wide open in the infield. He does bunt. That too will go foul. Manny Machado will be taking some extra bunting practice tomorrow, as the count will go to 2 strikes.
Well, it's kind of hard to tell if Manny's doing this on his own. He's definitely not sacrifice bunting. It's almost like trying to surprise Beltre over there at third base. That last attempt, I mean, last second, just jabbing the bat out there. Pretty hard to get the ball where you want when it's that aggressive.
So Frazier gets ahead of the count. 2 strikes. Now the infield can back up, and they will play for 2.
Frazier, good fastball, 91 to 94, but it's his split finger that is his best pitch, and Manny may see that here with Frazier ahead 0-2.
Machado 0 for 2 against the right-hander, and it's going to straighten him up and back him off a little bit with that pitch. So both starters out of the ball game, both the pitchers of record, at least for the moment. The Orioles have double-digit hits. They are 10. The Texas is 4, but just a 1-run ball game here in the 7th inning. Machado, base hit, pick up an RBI, outfield pretty deep on him. The delivery to him, and that's going to miss down low for a ball. Frazier trying to get him to chase, and the count goes to 2-2.
Look at the pitch track. First 2 pitches, the bunt attempts, are the 2 best pitches that Manny's going to see right down the middle. Unfortunately for Manny, both of them foul. A split finger and a slider out of the zone.
Right-hander's delivery, and it catches the corner at the knees. Machado really unhappy, banging the spikes. Knocking to Manny Gonzalez. And wisely will head back.
Very frustrated here. Let's take a look on the pitch track. The fastball not hitting his spot. It appeared to catch the box. Borderline call, and it didn't go in Manny's favor.
So now runners at first and second, and 1 out. And here is Nelson Cruz. Trying to do damage against his former team. He has walked, flied out, grounded out. Put a big exclamation point on this ball game if he can come through here. Against Frazier, he's got a couple of hits and 7 at bats. One of those hits a home run. The league leader in homers and RBIs. Runners off first and second. Cruz will take the pitch, and that's going to be inside to him. Cruz gets ahead on the count, 2-0.
Well, this is a danger zone for any pitcher with runners in scoring position. Nelson Cruz, .321 batting average in these type of situations, but Cruz best power hitter in the game right now. And of course, Adam Jones heating up with 3 hits already, standing right behind him.
Frazier will step off. Among the other categories for Cruz, he came into the day 7th in average, the 2nd best road average in the American League at .352.
Amazing road numbers for Nelson Cruz. He's leading the league in home runs and RBIs, but on the road he's leading with home runs and RBIs as well. 13 home runs on the road and 39 RBI on the road. That's pretty amazing.
He leads in the voting for the All-Star game for the DH position now. Because he's played a lot of left field, but he's listed for voting purposes as a DH. However it goes, he's got to be in the All-Star team and will be. He's 3rd in batting average and home runs, 1st in RBIs as a DH. 2 ball, 1 strike count. Orioles trying to add to their lead. Joseph on at second base, Markakis at first. Cruz will take the pitch. Watched it closely. It will miss. He's got a 3 ball, 1 strike count.
He's being really careful here with Nelson Cruz. A lot of off-speed pitches you see there, working the perimeter. That only strike down at the bottom of the zone. Nelson Cruz knows his strike zone really well right now. Anything in that box, he's been attacking.
3-1 delivery on the way, and that will break in. So the count will go full. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Only 1 down here. Well, the runners do not have to be going. Nelson Cruz did get a warm reception. First at bat from the Texas fans. Now he'd like to hear some boos. Picking up a hit of some sort and an RBI. 3-2. Runners not going. Cruz inside out to the infield. Infield fly rules in effect. Odor, the second baseman, will put it away. And there's a very big second out.
Yeah, it sure was. A lot of off-speed pitches throughout that at bat, and then works count to 3-2 and gives him a fastball. I think it may have surprised Cruz a little bit, and just gets underneath it.
On the season for Frazier, he's inherited 14 base runners. 5 have scored. He worked in his last outing on the 29th against Minnesota, working a successful inning, striking out 2. He came on here with runners at first and second, nobody out. They're still there, but now there are 2 out. Here's Adam Jones. Adam against the lefty, went 3 for 3 in the game. Now gets the right-hander. 2 singles, a home run, his 7th of the year, 2 runs scored. And he will try and pick up at least 1 RBI. The Orioles, obviously, you get the first 2 on in an inning. You want to bring somebody in. Jones, Guil. No! Cut off. Andrus, throw to third. Can't get it. And the Orioles are not going to get a run off it as it hit the facade. Had it gone in the dugout or photographer's box, the runners would have gotten an extra base. But it didn't, and it was backed up by Chinaros, the catcher, so the bases are loaded.
Pretty nice play right there. It seemed like his momentum, though, when he was trying to make that transfer to throw, ended up carrying him into the outfield a little bit more. Adam Jones, nice contact there, but a wild throw from the backside, unable to get the force out. See that beautiful defensive play. The little extra slip, I think, causes Andrus to get a little more off balance and ends up pulling that ball a little bit towards the field.
Mike Maddox is the pitching coach, and a good one. Now talking with the veteran Frazier. With Chris Davis, the left-hander, coming up with the bases loaded. He draws a little time on the mound for Frazier. And here we have one of those big moments in a ball game.
Davis picked up a double earlier in this ball game. A tremendous carry all the way out to left field, probably off that left field wall. I don't know if this is the exact matchup that manager Ron Washington wants here. Frazier's been their most consistent pitcher. And it is a big time situation when you see the bases loaded.
There we go. Bases loaded. 2 down. Chris Davis trying to open this ball game up. The Orioles lead it 2-1. He's 2 for 4 on Frazier. Shift is on, and the big cut for a strike. That has been what's been happening to Chris of late. He's gotten pitches that last year he would have made contact with and driven, not necessarily for home runs, but hit hard. He just hasn't been able to make the contact that he did last year.
Yeah, timing's been comes and goes with Chris Davis this season. Of course, early in the season, beginning of the season, he wasn't hitting his home runs, but he was getting his base hits, and then all of a sudden the oblique came, and that kind of put him on the shelf for a while, threw the timing off a little bit, and all of a sudden his timing started to come back, and then he had to go for the birth of his daughter, and now he's been kind of struggling a little bit. And you see a fastball riding high up and in. A lot of pitchers have been trying to do that with Chris Davis, make him feel uncomfortable, try to expose that outside corner.
Martin, the center fielder, moves over to left. Let's see if he pitches that way. He did not. It's pulled, but it's to right, and Rios is underneath it. Boy, what a job by Frazier. 2 on, nobody out. Gets 2 outs. Bases get loaded. He gets the 3rd out. 7th inning stretch time here in Texas. Orioles lead it 2-1. Game set. Bud Norris will take the mound against Nick Martinez. Our coverage on MASN 2 begins at 7:30 with those extra, presented by Dodge, followed by our game coverage at 8. All the access you need right here on MASN.
And here's a look. Bud Norris, 3 wins on the season, 404 earned run average. Does have those 40 strikeouts, 20 base on balls. And Nick Martinez, one of the younger players added to the staff with so many of the injuries, just 23 years old. He's made 5 starts now, started in the bullpen, 1 win. He had the 1 loss coming out of the pen, but that 275 earned run average. He's been throwing the ball really well for them here recently. Should be a pretty good matchup in tomorrow's contest.
Ryan Mattis out of the bullpen for Jimenez, getting the final out on 1 pitch in the 6th inning. Chirinos doing the catching, batting 8th in the order, and he will take it for a strike. He's had a double, and he has struck out. Both teams have had opportunities in this ball game. Runs have been very tough to come by, and the timeout asked for wanted a little more time at the plate.
And there have been opportunities for both teams in this ball game, but both starting pitchers, Jimenez and Saunders, really stepping up and making pitches when they've needed to. And then, of course, Frazier in that last inning getting out of a huge jam.
Rangers have had an 0 for 7 with runners in scoring position in the ball game. and showed bunt. Not sure if he meant it. Orioles 2 for 9 when they've had their chances in the game. Home runs picked up by Adam Jones for the Orioles. Beltre has one for the Rangers. Young with a base hit for the go-ahead RBI. Delman Young, the Orioles DH tonight, got that one in the 6th inning. Bottom of the 7th now, and the count goes to 3 balls and 1 strike on Chirinos. Ryan Mattis ready, and the delivery, and a towering shot to left field. 380 at the wall, and goodbye, home run. Number 3, his 11th RBI. 2-2.
Well, he gets himself into a good hitter's count. The 3-1 count. He's aggressive on the fastball, and he gets after it. That fastball in the inner third. He gets the bat head to it quickly. There's Chirinos in his last at bat with the double.
So we are back to a tie game at 2-2. Teams have been able to get back here in the game with the long ball. Odor up. They claimed a bunt. Swings away. Fouls it outside of third base, and there will be no play on that. So that takes care of it for the starters. They're non-decision. 383-foot homer out there over that big scoreboard wall, tying the ball game up. The delivery by the left-hander Brian Mattis, and that will miss, and the count 1 ball and 1 strike. Mattis' 3rd home run surrendered, 2 to right-handers. And that one will be fouled away. Bryant has brought the numbers down as far as batting average is concerned against him. The lefties at 250, right-handers now 279. Had been higher than that. And the Orioles really looking for him to give them some length in the middle against both right and left-handers. Odor, the 20-year-old, inside out. That will be fouled back and out of play.
Well, he had been doing much better against the right-handed hitters. It had been a problem for him the last couple of years. Really a specialist against the lefties, keeping that batting average down. But he's had some troubles against righties, but recently finding ways to get them out. Buck Showalter letting him come back out here to start this inning. Some younger hitters.
Ooh, breaking ball, and that one in for a strike.
Another big curveball from Brian Mattis. It's a pitch track, good location with all of those, and this is a big breaker as Odor gives up on it, dropping down in for a strikeout looking.
That'll bring up Chu, the leadoff batter. He has walked, grounded out, and struck out. Chu against lefties, 356. And the pitch is in there for a strike. Exactly 100 points higher against left-handers than right-handers coming into the ballgame.
Isn't that crazy?
You see so much of that this year. Shin-Soo Choo, the delivery to him, grounded up the middle off the mound. Hardy over, scoops, running throw. Nice throw. And they're 2 down.
He's made some nice defensive plays here with some pretty good speed.
And the latest voting numbers for the All-Star game. O's near the top. Nelson Cruz, Matt Wieters. Up there along with J.J. Hardy, Chris Davis, Manny Machado, Adam Jones, Nick Markakis. You can vote at Orioles.com/vote-orange. You could earn ticket discounts, chance to win an autographed All-Star game jersey. Vote up to 35 times, and you can vote right now at Orioles.com/vote-orange. Here is Andrus, who will take the pitch for his strike. Elvis Andrus 0 for 3 in the ball game. Andrus, a .328 hitter off left-handed. They give him the middle. Pitch will be taken outside for a ball. 2-11-0 for the Orioles. 2-5-0 for Texas. 9 left on by the O's. 6 by the Rangers. Andrus chops it in the air, going back on it after starting in as Cruz. He'll get there and pull it away. 1 run, 1 hit. Chirinos delivered the home run, tying this ball game up. Our do-ups for the Orioles, brought to you by Mazda, will be J.J. Hardy, Delvin Young, and Jonathan Scope. When we come back to Texas in a tie game. Baltimore Orioles and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Baltimore Orioles.
Here we are back at the top of the 8th. It's a tie ball game. A solo home run in the last inning ties it up by Chirinos. And now Alexi Ogando in the ball game. 26 games this season. That 5.84 earned run average, believe it or not, is coming down. He was getting lit up early in the season. He lost a lot of his high leverage situations, but here a tight ball game. Strong arm, good fastball, 92 to 96 miles an hour. Slider and change, but inconsistencies from him.
Ogando ready to go as the Orioles have got to try and find a way to get back on top yet one more time. Hardy has picked up a base hit, 1 for 3. It'll be Hardy, Young, and Jonathan Scope, 6, 7, 8 in the lineup for the Orioles, batting in the 8th inning. Alexi Ogando, now 30 years old, pitch taken outside. Ogando missed 4 years where he could have pitched in the majors because of visa issues. Did not get back into the country out of the Dominican Republic. One of the problems when he first came to the major leagues, he had an entirely different name. He was Argenius Benitez. That will probably cause visa problems, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
4 years worth.
Wow.
And then got back and has helped this ball club out.
Yeah, he's done some good things, but struggles early in the season. But he's been throwing a lot better here recently. Just 1 run in his last 8 2/3.
The delivery to Hardy, and he'll pop that one up. Shortstop. Elvis is in the house. And he puts it away. 1 down. Open up our Major League Notebook. Take a look at our East Wins page. The Indians defeated the Red Sox tonight 5-3. Peavy 6 1/3, 5 runs on 8 hits for Bogarts, 2 for 4 double home run. The Red Sox came back to tie it at 3-3. Then the Indians won it. Blue Jays beat the Tigers 5-3. Laurie 1 for 4, a homer, 3 RBIs. Hutchinson a solid start. The Marlins shut out the Rays 1-0. Archer 1 run, 5 hits, took the loss in the ball game. And for Tampa Bay, it may be June.
It's going to be tough.
It's not going to be possible unless it's a miracle.
Well, it's going to be interesting to see what happens with them. You know, if they can't.
There's a chopper off the fist, charging Andrus. Can't get it. He would have had Young and a clean pickup and a good throw, but he couldn't do it. That'll be a base hit.
And that was really his only option, the bare hand running attempt there. Gondo jamming Delmon Young. You see this ball just riding in, kind of a half swing, but Delmon Young flying down the line. Pick up the base hit. Here's the attempt, the bare hand, and right at the end it kind of kicked up and caught him in the palm, unable to hang on to it.
Tampa Bay now is 12 games behind Toronto.
Right. So pretty soon they're going to have to start that. Well, if they go through this month and they're still in trouble, you got to believe that some of their players are going to be put on the trading block, especially somebody like,
who's number one?
David Price.
David Price. Yeah. All those discussions prior to the season beginning about trying to trade him. I mean, there was some truth to that.
Right.
They were willing if the offer had been right.
Yeah.
And David Price now really is going to be available. Tampa Bay dropping out of the hunt. I mean, you're 12 games out and you got 4 teams in front of you. I mean, it would be a miracle comeback even at this point for them to challenge for the division or a wild card. Pitch taken up high. Jonathan Scope a double. He is 1 for 3 in the ball game. Delmon Young on at first base and 1 out.
And their right fielder Myers just went on the disabled list, so that doesn't help their cause.
2 months. He's expected to be gone with a fractured wrist. For Will Myers of Tampa Bay to join the rest of that DL. Oh, that one got him full and flush.
There's been the problems, just inconsistencies with command. This ball just taking off. Hitting Jonathan Scope up and in there. Good job by Scope to turn the right way. Catches him actually on the backside of the elbow. Riding in. Up in the tricep area. Now trouble again for the Rangers. Orioles looking to try to capitalize here, given another situation.
Jonathan Scope now has been hit by a pitch 5 times this year. That's the first time Ogando's hit anybody. And again, we've got base runners. First and second, 1 down. Joseph a base hit his last time up, 1 for 3 in the ball game. The Red Sox losing. They're now 7.5 games behind Toronto. Pitch will be taken for a strike. They too have lost their pitcher Brandon Workman. He got a suspension for 6 days for intentionally throwing at Longoria during those pitched battles Tampa Bay and the Red Sox were having. Workman 6-game suspension. Ball game tied at 2-2. Joseph down the line the other way. That'll be a foul ball. 93-mile-an-hour fastball, and the count's 2 strikes.
Caleb trying to catch up with that 93-mile-an-hour heater, and just couldn't quite get the bat head there. Timing has been an issue here for Caleb since he's been in the big leagues. Just trying to get that front foot down and be on time with the pitches. A little late there.
Orioles 2 for 9 with runners in scoring position. Another chance here. They've left 9 on base. Joseph in the air to the gap in right center field. That's going to make it. It'll take a hop and go up and off the top of the wall. 1 run is in. Jonathan Scope will be held at third, and the Orioles are back on top. A 3-2 lead, the second hit of the ball game for Caleb Joseph, a double and an RBI.
There you go. Timing right there. Elevated fastball. Up and out over, and he gets on it, stays behind it, driving it into that gap. Kicks off the wall. Take a look at Delmon Young. A little hesitation there on the read, but hustling around. Bobby Dickerson sending him. And then the hold for Scope. Keep this rally going.
And that's going to be it for Ogando, as Ron Washington will come out and take the baseball away. And the Orioles have battled back yet one more time here in the 8th inning. They get the 1-run lead and 2 in scoring position when we come back.
games this year, 3.63 earned run average, 23 strikeouts to 8 base on balls. That earned run average is coming down pretty well over his last 16 games. Has a 1.26 earned run average. Pretty good fastball, four-seamer, 90-94. Has a cutter, a slider, and a changeup as well. Not afraid to use all four to the righties. Lefties are going to see the fastball, cutter, and slider.
Another veteran. Kotz is 34 years old. He's been effective in leaving runners on base this year, as he's inherited 16. Only 2 have scored. He last worked on the 29th, just a third of an inning against Minnesota, and got the out. Joseph picking up the double and the RBI for the Orioles to put him back on top. Caleb Joseph, that's his second major league RBI. Nick Markakis, 2 in scoring position, and the infield is drawn in. Nick, a 300 hitter off lefties, and the pitch will be taken down low for a ball. Nick has had a 2 for 4 in the ball game tonight for the Orioles. Yet another multi-hit game for Nick Markakis, his 22nd of the year. He's had 1 4-hit game, 2 3-hit games, and 19 2-hits in a ball game. And that one is going to miss, and the count goes to 2-0.
He has been so good at the top of this order. I mean, so valuable, though, and the versatility. Really can hit anywhere in the lineup. But his on-base percentage and ability to come up with these multiple hit games. There you see his on-road average, 311.
Duo delivery to him. Nick's got another one, a base hit center field. That'll score 1. Joseph will be held at third. Throw all the way through to the plate, and the Orioles get their second run of the inning and make it a 4-2 ball game, and Nick Markakis a 3 for 5 game and adds an RBI to the night's totals.
Nice job by Nick Markakis. Good numbers off Kotz, and here you're going to see the drawn in infield. Markakis serving it out over Andrews' head. Bobby Dickerson holding Caleb Joseph, but Jonathan Scope able to create a little bit of distance here. Now 4-2 Orioles.
That will bring up Manny Machado with runners on at first and third base. Machado will get his first shot at Kotz. Markakis now with the 4 for 6 lifetime off this left-hander. But irony, you bring Kotz in to face a left-hander. Left-handers have actually hit better against Kotz than right-handers. And the pitch will be taken for a ball. Coming in to Kotz, left-handers hitting 265, right-handers 250. So Machado, the Orioles 4 runs on 14 hits, out hitting Texas 14-5. Kotz, the high set. Machado ground ball, may have gone off his glove. It did, and that's going to slow it down enough. Yes, an infield hit. Kotz reached for it, otherwise he might have had a double play ground ball. Another run will score. Joseph crosses, RBI, and an infield hit for Machado.
Also tough for pitchers to let balls go by. I mean, just instinctive move to try to catch it. It aids Manny Machado to pick up the hit. You see Kotz flash the glove, but the kickoff slows it down enough. Andrews has to change direction, not in time to get Machado as he sniffs out the base hit.
That will send some of the folks to the exit, and that will bring another pitching change. So Ron Washington back out there as he's trying to find the outs out of his bullpen, and right now unable to do so. This bullpen for the Rangers coming in ranked 10th in ERA, 12th in hits per 9 innings for a bullpen. And we're going to see our 4th reliever of the ball game and the 3rd here in this inning. Ellison coming out. The Orioles have now got a 5-2 lead. And follow at MLB.com at bat on your favorite mobile phone or tablet. At Bat brings you baseball wherever you are. Look-ins, replays, scores, highlights, classic games, and game of the day. That's all at MLB.com at bat. Get it at the App Store. Go to Orioles.com today.
Well, Sean Tolleson now in the ball game. A 2.89 earned run average, 23 strikeouts to 9 walks. He's a power pitcher. Everything hard. Four-seam fastball, 91 to 94. His curve, a hard slider, anywhere from 87 to 91. He has a changeup as well, and he'll use all four to both lefties and righties. And he's been pretty good here recently. 8 straight scoreless appearances for Tolleson.
3 runs that have scored so far in this inning will all be charged to Bugando. Now Cruz will stand in. Still only 1 out. The Orioles have runners on at first and at second base. A double, 3 singles, and a hit batter in the inning, and he got it way back in left field, and see ya. Goodbye, home run. A tremendous shot by Nelson Cruz in his first game here in Texas in somebody else's uniform, and he'll make them remember it. His 21st league leading. Even some of the Texas fans applauding as they get up to leave.
Possibly seeing some history here. 21st home run for Cruz, and there might be a mixture of cruises and boozes out there for Nelson Cruz as he continues to lead Major League Baseball in RBIs and home runs. Big 3-run shot there.
Cruz in his 401st game here in this ballpark. It's his 93rd career home run in this yard, and there was no doubt about that one. And the Orioles have cleared the bases. They have an 8-2 lead. And the pitch, a swing and a miss by Jones, the 8th Oriole to hit.
Well, a bust out inning, and there is a mistake up in the zone on the inner third, and Nelson Cruz lift off. That ball is hammered. Great extension through it. Just sitting on that mistake. He got it. First pitch.
So the Orioles blow it open here in the 8th inning, and what had been a pitcher's duel. You know how good that's going to feel for Nelson Cruz. Turned down a $14 million qualifying offer from Texas. Nobody else wanted him, so he signed up with the Orioles late. Has made the entire difference for the O's so far, and the pitch will be taken inside for a ball, and then comes back home for his first game here in other than a Texas uniform, and does that.
Pretty impressive.
One ball, 2 strike count on Adam Jones. He's had a big night. 4 for 4. A home run, 3 singles, 2 runs scored. They'll finally get him on the strikeout.
Well, Nelson Cruz certainly happy about his production with this Orioles team, and Buck Showalter glad they were able to land Nelson Cruz. And he doesn't appear to be holding any resentment, but you can tell there is some aggressiveness in his offensive game right now. There is amazing focus. I mean, all season long, just been locked in. When there are mistakes made, he is just covering the baseball.
Chris Davis, 2 down, bases are empty. The Orioles have batted around. Chris with a base hit in the ball game, 1 for 4, and he will take the pitch down low. Potts ends up with no part of an inning pitched. He will be charged with 2 runs on 2 hits. Gondo 3 runs on 2 hits and a third of an inning in relief. And then Tolleson coming on and giving up the home run. He's charged with the Cruz run that comes in. So the Orioles have really done a number in this bullpen. 5 of their 6 of the 8 runs coming off the pen. Inside with a fastball.
Well, it seems like this Orioles offense, whenever there is a big inning, and they've done it a few times this season, the bottom part of the lineup really contributes. And in this ball game, it really has. Caleb Joseph, a couple hits, a big double in this inning. Jonathan Scope, a double in the ball game, but the hit by pitch in that inning. Delman Young, every chance he gets in there, picks up some hits. Well, sure enough, he's got a couple hits in this ball game. So everybody really contributing 1 through 9.
3-ball, 2-strike count on Davis. Collison's delivery to him, and he gets the walk. The second walk the Orioles have drawn in the ball game. So we will start where we began in the inning. J.J. Hardy started it, popping out. He'll get another chance. Here in the top of the 8th, the Orioles have 6 runs in. Hardy, a base hit, is 1 for 4. Tollison with a runner at first. He'll catch the outside corner with that one for a strike. Lugondo becomes the pitcher of record for Texas, and Brian Mattis for the Orioles. The delivery. A little slider that was down low and outside. A victory tonight, and the Orioles will even up the road trip at 4-4 with the 2 more left to be played here in Texas. Hardy, one that was upstairs, fouls it upstairs.
Well, it's been an interesting road trip for the Orioles. Kind of waiting on this offense to really explode. Put up some good numbers in that final game, and here picking up where they left off. It was a slow start, but this big explosion for 6 in the 8th. A lot of things happening, working on time. Machado starting to heat up. He's made some good contact tonight.
Hardy got fisted on that one. There'll be no play.
So a lot of positives, and I think the starting rotation has pitched well here as the road trip has gone along. Ubaldo, a good start once again. All through the Houston series, Ubaldo had a good start. Gonzalez, Chen, everybody threw the ball well. Tillman.
Delivery on the way by Tollison, grounded down to first base. Played on the hop by Moreland. He'll take it to the bag. And the Orioles are retired, but not before they do damage. The Orioles now have an 8-2 lead. The big blow. Cruz, the former Ranger, for the Orioles, his 21st home run and 3 RBIs. It was a pitcher's duel with the 2 starters, Jimenez and Joe Saunders, locked in a pretty good one. Then the Orioles opened it up.
Sure was an explosive 8th inning. I mean, everybody contributing. Of course, topped by that Nelson Cruz 3-run shot, 21st home run of the season, most in Major League Baseball. But Caleb Joseph, a nice at bat, picking up that go-ahead RBI double. Adam Jones having himself a big night as well. The solo home run, 4 hits on the night. David Lowe slides in to left field for Nelson Cruz.
Any question about Nelson Cruz's hand after that last swing? No. Hit on a pitch, of course, on Sunday on the back of that, hit by a pitch on the back of the hand. Some question whether he'd be able to play. He said he could. Went out. Batting practice fine. And game better. Brian Mattis on, gave up the home run to Chirinos in the 7th inning, but that seems like eons ago. 8-16-0 for the Orioles. 2-5-0 for Texas. Moreland an 0 for 3. Mitch Moreland the pitch to him, and a swing and a miss off Mattis's overhand delivery. Beltre and then Rios will be coming up. A couple of runs scored, a home run by Beltre, home run by Chirinos, the 2 homers for Texas. That's it for runs. And off the end of the bat. The Orioles continue to do what they've done all season, and that's hit so much better on the road and score more runs, almost 2 runs a game difference. Orioles hitting .248 at Camden Yards. They came in hitting .275 on the road, and they're going to up that average with the output tonight. A chopper back to the left-hander. Mattis. Leo. The other thing to remember is the Orioles have done a lot of doom. They have only played 23 games at home. This is their 33rd game on the road.
Yeah, so there are going to be some opportunities to increase that batting average.
Brian Mattis is coming out of there as Buck Showalter goes to the mound here in the 8th inning, continuing to guard these pitchers and the amount of use they get in any given ball game. So with 1 away in the bottom half of the 8th, the Orioles go to the pen. Beltre will be coming up. The Orioles lead at 8-2.
Monster numbers on the year. 23 games, 2-0 record, that .82 earned run average. So good. 17 strikeouts, just the 6 base on balls. Opponents hitting .213 overall. Lefties at .280, that's coming down, and the righties just .180 on the year. Darren O'Day was up in that bullpen. Of course, Orioles putting the big number on the 6 runs, but Buck Showalter, he doesn't like get guys up, setting them back down. So wanting to keep Darren O'Day fresh, get him in the ball game here.
1 down in the 8th inning, and Darren will be working to Beltre. His 6th home run came in the 4th inning, a solo. He's had a couple of hits, 2 for 3 in the ball game. Beltre, .280 average, lifetime against the Orioles, and now has 20 home runs against the Orioles. O'Day's delivery is in there for a strike. Tell you about the Orioles and their average at home and road. It's the 3rd largest difference in the league coming into today's play, and maybe 2nd by the time this game is over. But fans are going to get to see the Orioles at home a lot. June is a month for the Orioles at home and back into division play too.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what. I mean, I think the Orioles offense has been a little bit up and down, but it seems like things are starting to come together, and innings like they just had really build the confidence of this team. They know they're capable of this, and they know they're capable of doing it more consistently.
Delivery on the way. Yikes. Look out, Darren. Right back through the middle. Adam Jones up with it, and Beltre always could hit and still can. That's a 3-hit ball game, 3 for 4 for Beltre.
I don't know if Darren really hit his spot there. Wild swing up and out of the zone the pitch before. You see him shaking his head. Beltre, a very dangerous hitter. These kind of situations, Darren O'Day not really used to. I'm not saying that he loses his focus, but Darren O'Day's he comes in pressure type situations. With a big gap, 6-run lead right now for the Orioles. He's got to dig deep and try to keep that focus.
Beltre picking up his 5th 3-hit ball game of the year. Rios at the plate. Beltre will not be held at first with the big 8-2 lead. Davis will play behind him. Alex Rios has drawn a walk. He is lined out and flied out. 6 hits now for Texas. O'Day with the infield shifted, playing Rios to pull. Rios will go the other way with it. Marquez started in. He'll back up a bit now, and he's got it. Rios the second out here in the 8th. Beltre goes back to first base, and O'Day's got 2 down. We'll bring Michael Choice up. Choice, their left fielder. Milwaukee has struck out and popped out. Orioles trying to send Texas back to a 500 record with 29 and 28. Ross in the bullpen. Another left-hander warming up. Choice's pitch. Choice looks at a pitch that goes from O'Day on the outside corner for a strike. Had a big crowd here for this ball game. 31,542. 31,542 tickets sold for this. Half left on the Cruz home run. 0-1 delivery by O'Day, and that pitch will be up high. Two starters non-decision. Jimenez with a run on 4 hits and 5 2/3. Fine outing. Joe Saunders 2 runs, 10 hits over 6. Wild cut on a pitch away. And young players like Choice, who have not seen the likes of O'Day, boy, he's tough to hit against.
Yeah, so hard here. The nasty slider from the land down under, and you see it just break off the plate about 6 inches. Such a tough pitch when you're not used to seeing it. Even guys with experience off Darren O'Day have a hard time hitting.
Same place, same result. So O'Day picks up the strikeout. That will do it. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left on base. The Orioles will bat as we go to the 9th inning. It's the Orioles 8, Rangers 2. Southwest Airlines. Find Southwest Airlines fares online only at southwest.com. And by Ocean City, Maryland. Put your vacation days to good use in Ocean City, Maryland. Book now at ococean.com. It is that time of year. Vacations, June 3rd. Most schools will be done here within the next couple of weeks. Some done already. Vacation time will get underway for real.
Yeah. Graduation time. Robbie Ross Jr. now in the ball game. 4.94 earned run average. Ross started the season in the rotation, but some ineffectiveness led him back to the bullpen. Actually, his last 6 starts, he was 0-4 with a 6.97. So manager Ron Washington said, "Why don't you try it out in the pen a little bit?"
Delman Young came up with the big hit with the ball game close. In that 8th inning, he got a single. He had an RBI base hit in the 6th inning. Put the Orioles back in the ball game. Pitch will be taken away. Ross working to Young, the DH, Jonathan Scope, and then Joseph due up for the Orioles. We're playing here in the 9th inning. And a bouncer. Skip away and cut a piece of Chirinos, the catcher, shaking that bare hand. Tommy Hunter threw again today on the side. Everything went well. They want him to throw again tomorrow like this.
He was down there working with pitching coach Dave Wallace and Dom Cheedy. He's checking him out a little bit. Says he's been feeling pretty good.
Like Showalter said, after Hunter had those tosses in the pen, he'll probably throw again tomorrow in the bullpen and then go out on Thursday for perhaps 2 rehab games. That's what they're thinking of right now. And then would be back with the ball. In the air, right center. Rios is there. Young is retired. 1 down in the 9th inning. Jonathan Scope, double, hit by a pitch and scored. 1 for 3 officially in the ball game. Tollison worked 2/3 of an inning, 1s across. He gave up a run and a hit with a strikeout and a walk. Tollison, and then Ross in his stead. Pitch will be on the inside corner for a strike. Pagando, who stands to take the loss in the ball game, gave up 3 runs out of the bullpen. He will be 2-3 on the year. And Brian Mattis, who was the benefactor of that big inning, could be 2-1.
Mattis came in and gave up that solo home run, but yeah, certainly aided by the Orioles offense.
Mattis ended up an inning and 2/3, 1 run, 1 hit, 1 strikeout, and no walks.
They look pretty good, aside from just falling behind to Chirinos and then having to deliver that fastball. I got hit for the solo shot, threw the ball very well.
1-2 delivery on the way. Jonathan Scope backing away and out of that one. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Showalter, Chris Davis, a little baseball talk. There's another base hit. So a 2-hit ball game, 2 for 4 for Jonathan Scope tonight, and the Orioles continuing to add to their hit output. That's 17 hits in the ball game for the Orioles.
Nice job not hitting a spot. Jonathan Scope reaching out, hammering it back through the middle there. Another good day for Scope. Build his confidence up. Actually putting up some good numbers. I think Buck Showalter would be pretty happy if Jonathan Scope hit 230 or 240. You know he's going to hit more home runs. Such a big kid. Doing a nice job.
Will not hold the runner at first base. Oops. So Joseph is hit by a pitch. He'll head down. Ross grabbing at the dirt after that hit him. He did not want to do this. Knee too.
Yeah, that one doesn't feel too good. Not a lot of muscle there to protect him.
So Caleb Joseph, Oriole catcher, down there trying to walk it off. Orioles get runners at first and second base. Not making any move to put the equipment on is Hundley. Caleb Joseph's going to stay in the ball game, limping or otherwise.
Well, that's man.
Joseph a double and a single, RBI and a run scored. Good offensive night for the Oriole catcher. And the pitch is going to miss Nick Markakis.
Well, Ross kind of all over the place right now. Ross has actually been in the bullpen with Texas the last couple of years, but just because of all the injuries, he was put into the rotation, and this really couldn't find the command, find the consistency. So Ron Washington recently just put him back out into the bullpen, try to help build his confidence back up. And right now, see why he's had some problems, just all over the place.
That ball hit towards second base. Odor will go to short. Andrus over to first, and that'll end the inning. No runs, one hit, no errors, one left on base. Gilmet in the bullpen, getting ready to go. The Orioles need 3 outs. They'll have their 29th win. The Orioles putting up their second most hits this season. They had 20 against New York back in April. They pile up 17 in this one.
Yeah, really that breakout 6th inning. Preston Gilmet in the ball game now, 7 games. That earned run average ballooned to 4.50 here recently, with 11 strikeouts, 1 base on balls. All those earned runs coming at Minute Maid Park. Nobody happier to get out of there than Preston Gilmet. He gave up two run shots, but prior to that he was basically unstoppable. Just 1 base runner his first 5 appearances for the Orioles. Gilmet now on fastball, slider, and split finger.
So Gilmet will be working to the bottom part of the order. Martin, Chirinos, and Odor. We will be right back here with you tomorrow night for Game 2. The Orioles have gone 6 series without a win. They split that last one against Houston. So the Orioles trying to wrap up this road trip, taking at least 2 out of the 3 here and get a series win under their belt. The Orioles are 6, 7, and 5 in series this year. The Leonys Martin. Martin has an 0 for 2 and a walk, and that's a fair ball. It'll roll down the line into the corner. Nick Markakis. This could easily be a triple. Martin on his way to third. He'll go in standing up. Triple to lead off the ninth.
Well, not a terrible pitch. Ends up being on the inside corner, but he gets the bat head to it right down the right field line. Markakis kind of shading towards that right center gap. And it is cruise control triple right there. Easy stand up. 3-bag.
Third triple for Martin. The 13th triple picked up by Texas this year. And they've got their 7th hit. Chirinos in the air to center field. Jones, runner will tag. Adams going to try and make the throw. Here it comes. And not in time. So a run scores. Chirinos gets the sacrifice fly and makes it an 8-3 ball game.
Jumping on that first pitch. He's got a runner there. He wants to get him in. That's about the same spot that he hit the home run on. Down and in fastball. He gets it deep enough. Jones with a nice attempt. Some pretty good speed there from Martin.
Good night for Chirinos with the home run double. Sac fly. And they're going to appeal at third base to no avail, saying he left on time. Sheldon Talbot or Crucci over there at third. One down. Here's Odor. The young 20-year-old will watch it go by, and a 1-strike count. Odor, the youngest player in the majors this year, the 4th youngest over the last 50 years, with the likes of Profar, Roberto Alomar, Danny Ainge. Exciting young player out there at second base. Pitch will be taken up high. Rougned Odor.
So they have Odor. What are they going to do when Profar gets back on the men? They have a couple of quality young players.
Decisions they'll take. Popped up Hardy. JJ's back there and he's got it for the second out. In our Major League Notebook, before we leave you, we certainly have to note this date, a special day in 1888. It was the first publication of the poem Casey at the Bat. It appeared in the San Francisco Examiner on this date, and it has become a staple, of course, of baseball lore. And in 1932, Tony Lazzari completed a natural cycle, hitting for the Yankees. Single, double, triple, home run in that order. Did he get any credit for it? No. Why? Lou Gehrig had 4 home runs in the same game, and the Giants manager, John McGraw, announced his retirement. That's a tough way to go. Lazzari, born in California, played for the Yankees, Cubs, Dodgers, Giants, Hall of Fame 91, power hitting second baseman. Lazzari was a great player. That is fouled off at the plate. Tony Lazzari, he hit 305 times. He drove in over 100 runs 7 times. He was on 6 pennant withers with the Yankees, including playing second base for the Yankees Murderers Row teams in the late 20s. And there is his plaque, Tony Lazzari. Just a great player who always got overshadowed, even on big days, by the Gehrigs and Roots on his team. That pitch is going to miss down low. Gilmet trying to finish it off, 2 down, bottom of the 9th inning. And that will be fouled the other way by Shin-Soo Choo. Choo has taken an 0 for 3, drawn a walk in the ball game. Texas at home is going to go 13-14. The Orioles on the road 18-15. Choo will take the pitch up high for a ball. Gilmet's pitch is going to be up high.
Trying to be a little fancy there with split finger. 3-2. Now, granted, you don't want to throw meatballs up there, but you want to be more aggressive in the zone. Come with your best pitch, something to throw for a quality strike. It's a really dangerous hitter, but you want to be walking guys here.
Andrus has an 0 for 4 in the ball game, and the shortstop will take that for a strike. 2 home runs, Beltre, Chirinos, and the RBI sac fly. Chirinos again in the 9th inning, accounting for their runs. That's what we need is a pinch runner, 2 down, 9th inning, and a trailing 8-3. Murphy's going to come on and run at first base. Well, Donnie Murphy on a pinch runner at first. And the pitch taken down low. Murphy's going to move up. Let me tell you, there's a reason for that. Sin-Chu Chu has been struggling with a bad ankle. It's been a sore ankle that he's had trouble with. It bothers him. So Ron Washington just didn't want to take any chances here. If there's a hit, he's got to run. And he got injured here in the 9th inning of an 8-3 game. Not going to do it. So there's a reason. I mean, that's a move deserved.
Yeah, he's got to be careful with his players.
Yeah,
too many guys on the disabled list.
Defensive indifference moves the runner down to second base. Andrus will take that for a strike. They really struggled on Sunday. They won the game against the Nationals, shutting them out 2-0 with Yu Darvish. But they just barely got a team on the field. They told me before the game they were really worried they didn't have 9 guys. And they ended up playing a guy at first base who had never played there before.
Yeah.
That's how tough it's been, and yet they had a 7-4 trip.
Yeah, it's been hard on them. I mean, this is when organizations get tested, you know, and this is something that Dan Duquette and Buck Showalter really believe in when they talk about the depth, you know, trying to get those free agents that will help guys that have had experience. So AAA is full of those guys, and I think the organization itself is coming a long way with the quality players they have in AA and even in single A. Zach Britton now up, just in case. But here
it's going to go to short. Hardy's there, and that is the ball game. Andrus on the line out, and the Orioles open up this 3-game set with an 8-3 win over Texas. Brian Mattis will go 2-1, picking up the win for the Orioles. And they give themselves a chance to have a really good road trip here as they even up the road trip at 4-4. There's your final line. 17 hits, second most the Orioles have had this year. Game 2 coming up tomorrow. Bud Norris will take the mound against Nick Martinez. All right, coverage on MASN 2 begins at 7:30 with those extra, presented by Dodge, followed by game coverage at 8. This has been a MASN presentation. A happy recap and lots of it offensively coming up. Tom and Rico's Extra, presented by PNC, is coming up right now. From Mike Bordick and all of our crew here in Texas, I'm Gary Thorne. Thanks, everybody, from Arlington. Adieu.